Good afternoon. How's it going today?
It's going good. How you doing, Hunter?
Doing all right. This is episode 6, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yep. It- yeah, we're really getting by on these things.
Always, always, always.
Yep. I was streaming last night.
Streaming was good last night, honestly. I had a fun night, had some good games. Chilling, enjoying myself. Finally got my Demogorgon to Prestige 21.
Woohoo.
Uh trying to beat Bronx. He doesn't know I'm trying to beat him to the 100th Demogorgon, P300th Demogorgon. We're at 21. I think he probably is going to be at level 22 because he has more blood points than I do right now. But at least I'm on his trail.
Right. Just going right behind there. So somebody who just does, Dead by Daylight casually, I'm, not talking about anybody specific here, but how is a faster way to get blood points on there if the chances are you don't really win the game on there?
Um,
Like is there any type
bring
of perks
bring
or
bring
add-ons?
bring blood point offerings like bloody party streamers, escape cakes, stuff for you like that. If you want extra blood points,
I
since they
got
got it, barbecue and chili, and we're gonna live forever for extra blood points. That's one way that you can do it.
okay. Because yeah, I've been trying to basically, you know, always bringing those add-ons on there, but I didn't know if there was any type of perk that like kind of like boost that up a little bit that you can have as your side thing.
Used to, not anymore.
Okay. So you excited for the new Resident Evil DLC coming out?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how RPD is gonna look. It looks better. Some people hate it because they're like, "Oh my god!" But it's like they made it smaller. They opened things up. They close things off. You can't go up. You can't go up the library anymore, which is nice. So again, we'll see how it is. I think Wesker's gonna be okay. Um, can't wait to see what the skins are for them. But I think Wesker's probably gonna be okay. But there's also a thing to where if you bring any means necessary, he can't model the pallet if you try to pick it up. So I don't know if that's gonna be patched out or what that's gonna be. That's I was seeing that as well in the public test build.
Okay, because I've been hearing that Wesker might be an S tier killer coming through there.
I don't think he's gonna be S tier. No. Mm-mm.
I've been hearing that just because of his because I've seen his attack on there and it just seems like
Mm-mm.
it's a good range
Mm-mm.
on there.
No, 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 no. Everybody said Demogorgon was S2 when it came in. One thing about DD community and Hunter, you need to realize they overreact to everything. And not only that, some of them are crybabies. They always overreact. So I wouldn't listen to anything. Just again, I'm not couldn't give a tier on him yet because he's for one, he's coming in. Two, I don't know how he plays until I play him. Three, he's not S tier. He'll probably be high A, but I don't see him being S tier. Not by the slightest. So all you got to do is break line and say, like, even though he has that dash ability, some loops he cannot hit you over in the game. Like, you just got to play smart. That's Survivor. You got to use your head. Don't let him get close to you so he can hit you with his dash attack. But he is not S tier. I don't know why people say he's S tier. He's not S tier. Like, holy crap, he's not S tier. But yeah, no, I don't see him being S tier. I like it just like I said, I'll say he would be probably like high A, mid A, I would say. Maybe. Like I said, I'm not giving my opinion now just because of he hasn't been released yet, but that's just my take. That's what I think he possibly will be.
Because I know definitely when they go into, for the S tier killers going to Nurse and Blight on there. Because I remember when I went into a match with a Blight one time, within 5 seconds of figuring out who he was, I was like, oh, we're screwed. Like, oh,
Depends. It definitely depends on how the S tier killers play. Like Blight, if the Blight's bad or the Blight's not playing. Like if the Blight doesn't know what he's doing, you'll be fine. Just gotta watch out for his rush. Nurse, I don't. People said this kind of play could be. Nurse is a very hard killer to go against, especially if they're good. Spirit is I'll put Spirit and Hag up there. Spirit, depending on how that Spirit's playing, you could get destroyed, demolished. Since I wear nerf, Hag depends on if you're in a orchestrated swift. If you're not, she will eat on you all day because she's a defensive killer that can put up traps around the whole map and could be running Rusty Shackle, so you don't know that you walk over because it's silent.
right. Yeah, I know you have your full on ranking that you have on YouTube on there that you gave your whole entire opinions on.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to update that once I know what I think Wesker should go, and they updated it, and they updated. Then I'll update that. I'll make another video.
Right. Yeah, because I was just really, a little salty when you put Myers so low, but I was like, you know what? You know,
I
I can
hate you
understand
should
it.
you should see what Dowsey put him. He put him at F. I put him in C. I think that's kind of fair.
That's
until they do something with his pregame, then he'll go higher.
that is true. I mean, like maybe he can do like more range or something like that. But
Maybe they should do I don't know. I don't know what they could do for Mars to make him go higher rank. I don't know. Because again, even if you're a good killer, you go against a Survivor Swift that's better than you. They'll keep you in tier 1 for the longest time. They just
right.
do. They know how to get around your stock. It's like if the Swift or the players knows what they're doing, you're screwed as a Myers, honestly.
Yeah, whenever if they ever get to bring Jason into the actual game on there, I'm just questioning more or less if he's going to be a reskin of Myers or that he's going to be a new character on itself and that he'd be much more faster of a killer.
It would probably be a killer of himself because Matthew Cote did hinted in the past if they had a chance to bring Jason in, they would because they really wanted Jason. They still do want Jason.
Because yeah, that once you bring Jason into it, then you got all the three, the three big killers in there. You got Michael, Jason, and Freddy, and then you also got Pinhead and all that good stuff. And then I would say because the series is out, what do you think of Chucky being in there?
Um, I think Chucky. I think Chucky will be. I don't know. I don't know honestly. Um, I think Chucky would. Maybe.
Because I know they
Man.
could bring him in because of the twins, the little guy right there. I know because they can do the coding for that one. Chucky can be in it, but it's a matter of figuring out how to utilize him properly. It would probably be like I'm like making a guess here of like how they would do it. It's almost like there'd be like different dolls scattered around the map on there, and then basically he can like transfer his soul to each different ones on there, and
Right.
then and then kind of like a totem type thing. You have to like kill one of them so he couldn't teleport to that one.
Right. I could see it happening because they added Onryo, and she's pretty short, so maybe the telekinesis aspect of it in the game because she's also another killer that doesn't use her hands to pick up survivors. So I wonder if they can use something for Chucky there. Maybe, possibly. I can see Chucky coming in. Is he a big franchise? That's neither here or there. It depends on if that license be S tier. Behavior wants to make money. They are a business, so it's like whatever. Even though that Scooby Doo is popular and throughout the DVD community, is that an S tier license? No. And if they do ever get a Scooby Doo chapter, it would probably be a paragraph because it won't be as big. But you never know what might happen with the Attack on Titan skins that come into DVD this past patch before this update for Wesker. Opens up the possibilities to get more things in the game. Like I said, like Jason could come in, Chucky could come in, Scooby Doo could come in. I'm not a fan of Fanatic, but it's like, oh my god, I gotta have Fanat. Fanat is life. I'm not a fan of Fanat. Friday Nights at Freddy's Friday Nights at Freddy's. I'm not a big fan of that chapter, but that would definitely bring a new anything that has to do with new things. I'm for, even if I don't like the chapter, I would deal with it because it makes so that more players come to the game because I need to make content all out of the game for my stream. So it's like, again, even if I don't like the chapter or whatever, I need new players to keep the game alive. It's all about new players when it comes to a game for its game health. Yeah, you have veteran players, but you need constantly new players to pick the game up and stay.
Right. And In your own opinion, what would be a good way of like getting new people in there?
Continue doing what you're doing. Make chapters. Listen to your see what the survey says. Some of the survey says we want this, we want that. I get it. Behavior. It's hard to get licenses. Like it's very hard. Some of the licenses that the community wants, it's very hard to go achieve. It's not easy. Like I would like them to go get a Scooby Doo paragraph. I'd like for them to go get a Jason Voorhees. I would like for them to go get whatever else is out there, like maybe like it from Stephen King, but he's so clingy onto his stuff, which I understand. Also, I like to see the Thing from John Carpenter. That'd be kind of nice to bring into the game as well. A Thing chapter with giving John Carpenter free money because I imagine he owns the rights. I imagine he's the rights holder. So
To the Thing, it was originally a Universal thing. So he did his movie, but then they hired him on to do that movie.
so that means they have to go through Universal for the rights.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, what the funny thing was when they did the other one in 2011, I think it was. It's kind of like a prequel to the John Carpenter one. John was like, they asked him like, did anybody ask you about it? He was like, I was like, listen, they didn't ask me anything. They didn't have to ask me anything. Like this is their movie. They were allowed to do whatever they wanted.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And,
No, I could definitely see some of these chapters coming in there. Maybe, possibly.
oh yeah. And also speaking of talking to the community, you actually just did a charity stream lately.
I did. That went well. I'm still gonna promote Stack Up. I'm still gonna have up the thing, my alerts to connect to it, so anybody can donate anytime. All I gotta do is go down to the bottom of my panels, click donate here, and then you can put how much money that you want. And into it because I want to continue to support them and support mental health within gaming. So if you guys are listening and you guys have a few extra bucks hanging around, and you guys stop by stream, please donate. It helps war veterans that are coming back from combat, coming back from war, and they're having PTSD or they have a post traumatic limb blown off or whatever, and they just can't handle it. It lets them, they raise money for let the mind just go at ease within game, and they try to keep them so they're not thinking about what happened back when they was overseas. And it's really I feel like for mental health, I'm all for about advocating for mental health because mental health is always a big thing. It's always gonna be a big thing. It's always gonna be an issue. And if I can make others feel safe, happy, and get their mind off what's happening in their life, all for it. And I will also love to raise money for that awareness as well.
Yeah, again, it sounds like a really great charity to go with. So the day that you actually had to do that, how was the experience for you?
It was new. It was different. I was still a little nervous. I feel like I'm not a big streamer, so it's hard to get goals when it comes to that. Like again, yeah, it was a good stream. I just wish I was bigger on Twitch, honestly. I'm just scared with doing charity streams, honestly, how small that I am. But we got it done. I'm shocked that Stack Up wanted me, and hopefully we can continue to work with Stack Up because I enjoy them. I enjoy what they stand for and what they're going for to change others' lives.
Right. I mean, the one thing that I saw because I lurked in there a few times, see in there, I saw your numbers going really high.
Oh
I
yeah,
saw quite a bit of people actually checking into your stream. So, that always helps when you're partner with somebody.
oh yeah. Like I always have my viewers count off until I get bigger. I don't know what I have at the time. I don't know if I don't know if I don't know if I had 30 viewers. I don't know if I had 25 viewers. I'm probably soon I had up to 30.
I think I said all up to 25 when I was
Okay.
when I was watching on there.
Yeah, I don't know that because I'd rather not know because it's like I don't want to know right now. But I did have high viewers, but also I got rated earlier in the stream as well. So I was rated and I had higher views as well. Hopefully they continue to come because I do will we're 29. I am 29 followers away from 1700 right now on Twitch. So
Dang.
yeah. Um
I mean,
still
keep
I
it
gotta
up.
keep going because I want to get to 2K. It's gonna happen eventually, but I gotta continue doing what I'm doing. Like I have changed, like I have changed my whole mentality on how I want to run it because honestly, could I have been bigger now? Yes. Two, have I had gotten salty on stream in the past? Yes. So it's like I'm working on that and I'm getting better with it.
But I can understand, especially working in, working at a specific, having that type of thing as your job, it takes a lot of, strength, it takes a lot of like energy you got to put into it on there. And really, having that thing of saying, okay, well, how much can I take on there and do that? I mean, it doesn't mean, ever give up. I'm not,
Right.
never says that. But, always having that little thing that pushes you for, that like saying, okay, this is where I was going, but I might be able to go this way.
Right. So it's like all I need to continue to do me. I'm not gonna like I'm not that like I'm just gonna continue hitting the live button and I'm gonna continue putting out great content and making others feel great. And also on the charity stream I opened up a little bit more and I let my viewers know a little bit more about me and it was kind of nice to open up to them and be more honest with them because they didn't know everything. Like I was kept stuff to the chest a little bit, but I'm glad that I told them and I'm glad to have a platform to where I can talk to them and they would listen. So it's like they know more about me, which they can connect with me more, and then hopefully continue to prosper and grow. Because yeah, I do want eventually I want to look up and I have like over 15K followers. It'd be kind of nice to have that. I know followers doesn't equal viewers. Like you can have like 20K viewers and not get 20K followers but don't get the viewers. It doesn't matter. Followers on Twitch don't mean nothing. So to a degree, because again, you can't make them show up. I do appreciate the ones that show up, and hopefully I can continue to get more viewers in there because again, I like when chat is going and talking to me. Like I like when I got chat interactions. It's very very nice.
Mm-hmm. Definitely gives it like a good like, especially when you're playing a game, it's always one of the things that you always want to have somebody, to kind of bounce off of on there. Because it
And what I
always
normally do is if chat's just lurking, what I normally do is when I'm because I play a lot of killer. I only play one day survivor normally. I play a lot of killer because again, killer's a little bit more interesting. And if I'm gonna grow on DVD, because DVD is so DVD is only 6 years old. You can still grow in it. It's just harder because it's so saturated because it's been out for 6 years. So it's like for me to do that, I have to be known for something. So it's like, what am I known for? Okay, I'm a top 10 Demogorgon main on the charts on the DVD stat page. The reason why it doesn't go any more than what it is because the Demogorgon's out of the game. But if it does come back, which it possibly could, maybe it might start counting again. But it's like I can go off of that and say, hey, especially when if Stranger Things the hype is real and it comes back, that could be a thing to grow my channel, which I'm trying to do. So I want to do more YouTube content on Stranger Things if it does come back. Because it's like I want to capitalize off the hype so I can get people to my channel.
I mean, understandable. That's going to marketing right there. It's going like, well, how do you market something? You always want to, it's like what studios always do. You want to take something that's like, in the eye and go like, okay, that's what gets people to your channel.
Oh yeah, no. For example, I just come to you say, "How do I need this thumbnail made?" Because I need to get Stranger Things out. I need like for example, like it's not hard. Like and for one, I'm taking it easy too. Like I haven't edited anything at all. And the last thing I edited, I edited the Myers hacker video. That was it. I haven't edited anything out after that because I overworked myself last month. It was hurting my streams, hurting me mentally. People wasn't enjoying my streams because I looked angry all the time because again I kind of was overworking myself. I was tired. I overworked myself for a month getting up to Salt Diaries and I'm still yet to complete the Salt Diaries. It's only episode 8. I need 2 more episodes. I got one the other night and then since there's this new toggle that Twitch added and I didn't know. Again, if it's toggled on, if it catches any copyrighted music in your channel, it will automatically disable your VODs without you knowing.
Hmm.
So, and then I disabled my VOD on Saturday, and then I lost the number episode 9 Salt Diary. So I'm like, oh, there goes my project editing for the night.
Right.
So it's like I have to again I toggled it off, pretty much agreeing to whatever. So that means if I do play copyright music, they it can't toggle off my VODs because I need the content. I need it. So so I can go back and go get it. Because again, I don't record as I live stream because it could lag my stream. So what I do is I just go back to video producer on Twitch and I cut and I look through the VOD and I go get what I need or the match or something that I need, especially with Salt Diaries. I've been doing it ever since Salt Diaries came out, where I would go back to, I would get, when it happened, I would go look at the bottom of the stream to see when it occurred, like the time, like say if it occurred at 3 hours and 25, let's say if it occurred at 3:20 and I look down at 3:25, I take a picture of that, say, hey, just go back from that. And there you go. There's your little reference there to go see where the content happened.
Right. It's just, there's a lot of workarounds. I remember when we had to do the Conjuring episode,
Mm-hmm.
that time we were able to record it on there. But then like now it's like almost impossible for us to actually, record that stuff. And I look at like other YouTube, I'm like, how do you guys do that as soon as it comes out? Like sometimes it's on to like Disney Plus or it's on, Warner Brothers or stuff that people are actually watching off and they take that footage off there. I'm like, how do you guys get that footage? Like
They probably have inside people. I don't know how they probably get it. They have something that they could look at that they could record off of, to be fair.
yeah, because it's like I look at that and go like, he's like, how do you guys do that on there? But yeah, so a lot of definitely a lot of the workarounds of production, because right now we have a movie that we're editing together,
Yeah.
and then I got 2 movies I'm editing right now, and it's a lot of work.
Of course, it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, like yeah, I mean, you and me have seen like how it is to work on actually like on physical set before.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
you know how exhausting that is.
Very, very, especially when you're not union and you and that's like I said to you the other days. Like again, if we're going to start for the video, I'm going to see if I can get a contract made and notarized where I don't work over 14 hours a day if I'm doing anything with you in La Vida, because I am not doing a 24-hour. I'm not doing 24 hours. I'm telling you that now. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a 24-hour shoot.
Oh yeah, it was again. That shoot was like that day we had 27 scenes done. But the good news is because I just did that. I just edited those scenes together for her.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fantastic.
Oh no, it really looks fantastic. But I'm just saying is you need to let her know if she wants me on anything that I refuse to do past 14. And if it goes past 14, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to sit there. I'm just going to be getting paid by just sitting there. So just keep that in mind when you bring me on to stuff going forward. I'm not doing a 24-hour. Nope.
Here's
So
$500,000.
that's different. But I'm just saying that's different. If you guys have 500,000 that you can pay me to make me work a full day without sleep, I would go for it because I need it. But if I'm only getting paid $1,000, I'm not doing 24 hours. I can tell you that I'm doing 14 and I am done. Regardless if I gotta be there or not, I won't be no help. I'll just be sitting there like I'm done, dude. Like it's been 14 hours. We need to wrap. Whether one keeps I don't care. Like I'm not doing. One thing I can't do is the fact is I'm not staying up all night. I with that I just that's just too much. And then the next day you're like and you look like a zombie and you don't want to do anymore. The fun thing with film is the fact is it's fun. It's a fun job to have, but not a 24-hour thing when you have to be up the next morning at 7 a.m. to go ahead and shoot again. Like that's kind of not no brainer. So you need sleep in between, in my opinion.
But yeah, we did a lot for those productions. I'm about to jump into another one currently, and that one where we're gonna be shooting in 4 days. We're gonna be shooting that one 4 days, like 2 weekends.
Yep. But the fact is, Hunter, you were so frustrated after the 24-hour, you was completely done. Like, yeah, who likes that mentality, honestly? Like when you was done, you was like you was pissed.
Again,
So
it was annoying how just
yeah,
it was annoying just having that. However, it was an experience to work on that thing. It was I just felt like, at that point it was like, you know, it's me, it was only me as a crew member. Well, no, it was me and another person doing audio. Um, that was the way we were doing it there. And yeah, we had to like travel different locations. We traveled to like a very sketchy area too.
yeah,
It was
especially at probably 3 a.m. in the morning.
well, we got done around what was it? I think it was three, yeah.
Mhm.
Mavens, maybe I'm gonna say it was three or four or something like that. Basically, it was still dark when we were wrapped up on that day. But yeah, we did that on there. Then the rest of the shoot wasn't really that bad, honestly. I remember when we had to do again, it was a movie that we were working on that we were inside of a garage that Livia and me were just working like back to back. She had to direct the actors at one point, just going like, okay, guys, listen, I just need you guys to like direct these girls. Like, I need like it was like a whole intense thing that she was like telling them because she was dealing with like again, it was like 20 extras. It was like 20 extras, six six or seven main characters in that thing. And there was just like a lot, bunch of stuff on there. And the guys really pulled through too.
Oh yeah, no, it was all good.
Oh yeah, it was a really cool experience, and I just added a few more scenes last night with her, and we were both like, "Oh my god, this is amazing to look at."
Uh huh.
Uh,
Just gotta add the audio once that in there would be kind of nice.
yeah,
Is it
once
almost done, Hunter? Is it done, or is it still? You still got more scenes to
she
edit?
just sent me,
Notes.
the how many more scenes we're gonna do right now. So far, it's one, two, three, four, five, six scenes left over right now.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Then you're done.
And yeah, by the end
Probably
of the
with that.
month, by the end of the month, the skeleton of the movie will be done.
Yeah.
And
Then
then
you go back and repolish it.
yep, basically once we know what we're working with, then it's easy to go back into it and say, okay, let's fix this. Oh, let's fix this. Let's fix that. And another movie that I'm doing right now, that the skeleton of that will be done tomorrow, and then up for review from the director tomorrow.
Nice.
And then after that is more red light on Saturday. Then I got a movie premiere to go to on Sunday.
That's nice. What's movies being shown?
Um, one of my it was a guy that I knew, and I worked at a church I think a year ago at this point,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 years. It was 20, I think it was 2020 that I worked there. Um basically it was a guy I worked with. We did it was like a holiday special that was performed live music as the guys were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we filmed a whole entire thing. It was like a Christmas special. And so he does a lot of action stuff. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks fantastic, a lot of his stuff. Like he did a Batman thing, he did a Punisher thing, he did all this stuff. And so he made like this big film that he's gonna be showing in theaters for a limited time right now. So we're going to be seeing that on Sunday. Um, and Levita's going. It's going to be called Brick Walls.
Nice. That sounds nice. I'm not gonna lie. That definitely sounds nice. Like, so is it a film or a musical? It sounds like it's a musical.
No, it's an action movie.
Oh,
Like the thing we filmed in, I think it was 2020 or 2021. I can't remember what year now. But when we filmed that, it was a Christmas special about dad working overtime, um, that type of stuff. And then while it was playing in a church, like inside of like on the big screen on there was a band audience who actually played live to that video,
really?
and that was cool. I didn't get to see it, but how the reception went from everybody was into it.
Everyone.
Everyone, like everybody was really into it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I think I had to work during that time too, so so I couldn't go. But yeah, this movie he's going to be doing Brick Walls. I'm going to on Sunday. By the way, I go shopping for clothes for that thing. So this is the journey I had to go to on that thing. I had to go to so like I went to go check out my suit because I haven't worn my suit in a while. You know, the shirt doesn't fit and the pants don't fit. I'm like, okay, well, I have to go get a brand new shirt and pants. Do you have any idea how expensive pants are over at the place at the mall?
How much?
It was like almost $249 for a pair of pants. And I was like, good lord, I just need pants. I just need dress pants. But it was almost like $200, $200 for pants. Some of the shirts were almost like $50 going on there. And I was like, good lord, like I would say if somebody actually like needs to show off almost like every day type thing, I get it, it's okay to buy that stuff. But for me, who barely goes to anything fancy anytime, I wasn't for that. So I had to go up to Walmart. I had to go up to Walmart up north. You were talking about by Cheswell.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah, definitely
I
what
went to
you're
that
talking
one. They had no dress pants and they had no dress shirts. I was like, crud.
about.
So I had to go all the way down to Target. Well, Target's closed until September. So I was like, oh, fine. So I had to go to the other Walmart down there, and they only had like this thick dress shirt. So I got that one. I still don't have dress pants because they had the other dress pants, but they never have them in my size. So like that was my whole entire journey of having to find clothes for that thing, trying to be all fancy because
Fancy smancy.
I know he had to go he has to go all fancy because it's like, listen, he makes movies, we make movies, It's like, and this is how fancy we are.
Right.
Yeah, so goes into marketing itself, like look fancy as the part. Do you remember we had to do the Philly film awards?
Yeah, we did do that. I remember that.
Yeah, we went up there and our trailer was supposed to play up there.
Yep. Never did.
Never did.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Like the thing was like if they didn't want to show it, they could have just like told us like, hey, listen, we don't want to show it. But
You're not gonna save the whole trip. That was frustrating in itself.
yeah, because what they did was they said they're gonna play it. They're gonna put us all on the red carpet. We got down there. They didn't put us on the red carpet. It was like, okay, fine. So then we went around, just did the fancy party thing, talked to people. So then we went in the auditorium, and then I think it was like at the very end, they quote unquote were going to show the trailer. So then somebody calls me and says, hey, listen, we actually need help exporting the thing. I'm like, okay. So I had to go down. So I went down the lobby, had to like quote unquote teach the guy how to export or how to save a file. He didn't even know how to set. He was acting like he couldn't save a file.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I was like, okay, well, this is where it is. And he's like, okay, great. So then I go back to the, I go back into the stadium, tell you guys, okay, it's gonna happen. They then call me again and say, hey, listen, we actually need you to come back. So I got out of this, out of there again, bring back to the thing. And they said, okay, so how do you save this to a computer on there? Of course, he's playing dumb, on
Mhm.
there. And then I like saw him, he ran up to the thing, and then we're like, okay, well, it's gonna play. And then there the end of the ceremony, I was like, well, that sucks. So we just ended up grabbing pictures there. And
Yeah, I was really upset because I was like, man, you not could have done something else at home that day. We could have went somewhere to Cristiano if we wanted to.
oh yeah, like yeah, we went up to yeah. I even our producer didn't like want to see us after that.
No. Like, what do you do there?
Yeah, he left. It was like I was like, oh boy. But yeah, we drove all the way up into Philly, like downtown Philly. It was one of our first times. Yeah, it was like, but yeah, that's how most film production goes. But the good thing is now we're in post for 3 projects coming in there.
Yeah,
And
which is awesome as well.
right. But on a more lighter note, And going back to one of your top, one of the things you were talking about with mental health on there,
Hmm.
our good friend Ezra Miller. Do you remember the three? So there was three options that Warner Brothers was going to give him on there because he had to go back and do reshoots for the Flash movie. So there's three options that they were going to do. He was number one, they were going to try to get Ezra Miller help. Number two, they're going to leave Ezra Miller to do whatever he does. And number three, I'm trying to remember what the third option was, but out of those two options, which ones do you think they went with?
Getting them help.
They got him help.
Hmm.
So basically, he finally made a public statement saying that he's been going through some stuff right now.
But he broke the law, Hunter.
Yes, he did. I'm not giving him any type of
He will, even if he's getting help, he will. They will see some jail time. If not, maybe they might make a deal with the prosecutor. But depends on what happened. Did they hurt anybody? Like specifically, yeah, they burglarized. Depends on what the people that they burglarized on. Is that something that the people press charges on, or does the cops press charges on?
Oh no, there's people who put press charges on him.
Okay, so can he somehow make a deal with the ones that press charges to pull back on it is the question.
Can on there. I just don't want them to
Let him off easy. Them off easy.
I don't want them to go like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going through something. And they're like, okay, well, that's fine. It's like,
yeah, and you slap on the wrist essentially. No, pretty much again, if maybe jail time is not the best for them, but maybe like, hey, you gotta seek therapy for this how long, you on probation for this how long. Give them another chance to say, hey, if you violate this, you will go to jail. Like, we're not playing with your ass anymore.
oh yeah. But
like, this is it.
I was gonna say, but they're never gonna be the Flash again. We already know that part.
No. They're done with being Flash. But what they could possibly do is get the help that they need, get themselves better, and then depends on what the law is going to do with them. Maybe see if they can strike a deal. See if they can say, hey, if they sincerely can if they're really sorry for what they have done, and maybe to fix on that, because everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. It's just, can they take the second chance and run with it, or would they give them a second chance to do something stupid? Just leave the booze alone. Leave the booze alone. You can't drink. Leave the alcohol alone.
Oh yeah, like Ezra, I just really hope the good happens for him. I just really it's just gonna be like, just kind of like curious of like what was going through their head during that time.
Never know. Again, they could have been depressed. I don't know Ezra Miller's background like that. Like, Ezra didn't come relevant to me until they sort of playing Flash. I don't know who they were prior to that. Probably started other things that I probably knew about, or I knew about. Like, I really didn't follow Ezra at all until he got Flash.
I think it was like Percy being a Wallflower is the most popular one. Then it was in Harry Potter, I think.
Yeah, but I never really paid attention to them. So it's like, because again, they wasn't really big until Flash came around, in my opinion.
I get it.
Yeah, Flash makes. Sorry. Thank you. Warner Brothers, or anything has to do with the comics, or anything has to do with these bigger production companies, make you bigger. You know what I'm saying? It makes you bigger as you go, especially if you play one of their superheroes in their universe.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of debate going on of like, most movies nowadays are just franchise movies that are, they just have a lot of just superhero movies that are dominating the thing. There's a lot of other content out there, but yeah, it's the thing that drives most theaters nowadays.
Yep.
And in my hope, I just hope that DC is able to rise up, at least up to Marvel's level. But I don't want them. But it's one of those things I don't want them to become so formulaic that like the Marvel universe is.
Right, I totally agree with that. Again, just like I said, I don't watch much things. Like I said, the movie has to interest me. So I'm one of those audiences that you have to get my attention within 5 seconds, or sometimes 2 seconds, for me to watch something.
Yeah, because again, like there's a lot of saturated content out there. It's almost for a lot of people, it's really hard to kind of like choose what to go see. Like one in theaters, and then two what to watch on stream because there's just so many, there's so many different things out there. But
I,
uh,
let's turn on a good note, because we have to, because I got to talk about this. Did you see the leak or the design for iPhone 14? Let's talk about a little bit of Apple, because God, I love Apple. Everybody that's listening knows I'm an
oh,
Apple
he's a big Microsoft fan.
connoisseur. Liar. I do not like Microsoft. I do not like.
You're right.
I am not a fan of Microsoft. Apple all day, baby.
Yeah, but he likes Samsung instead. He
You're
shows
funny
off
for
his
that one.
Samsung phone every day.
For the record, I have an iPhone 12 Pro. But how do you feel about the design leaks? I can't wait for ISO 16. Ain't coming fast enough.
Yep, ISO 16. It's definitely coming around. Real like one, I can't wait for it because there's just a lot of cool features that are going to be in there. I
Yes.
know for you specifically, the not having to memorize a password anymore.
I
That
don't
is,
anyways. I just use my Face ID.
yep, that's what they're doing now. Is for Apple stuff is that they're going to get rid of passwords on there because
Nice.
they're basically their new software. They're trying to do that. Is they're it's basically all going to be it's going to when you log into something, it's going to generate a fake password really quick for you, so you just get into it. Then that way you can never reuse that same. You can't use that. Nobody could get into your account because the password was so random that you could never figure it out.
Okay, nice. And then you can looks like continue changing as long as you log it in. It sounds like, but also too, Hunter. Once the iPhone 14 drops, we have to go to Apple. Like I want to go. I'd rather go see it. Like it's fun to look around. I would like to see what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Functionality is. Are they gonna make a different? It looks like they're making a different body, right? It's gonna be a different body.
So from what I can see from
Mm-hmm.
it, it's going to be similar to the 12 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
Squared off look, MagSafe, all that good stuff on there. The only physical difference that I've seen with it on there is that the hole punch design on there.
They're actually going the hole punch.
So basically, from what I've seen, it's going to be, where the speaker grill is?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that's gonna be black, and then right next to it is gonna be the camera right next to it on there.
Nice.
And it's gonna those are the only things gonna be blacked out, and everything else is gonna be the full frame look.
Nice.
I don't know if it's gonna be USB-C or not. I've heard rumors that it's going to be.
Is it going to be much thicker and heavier in weight? You think?
I'm gonna say due to Apple on there, I'm gonna say it's gonna be the exact same size as the 13 on there.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's gonna be like little changes here and there because they gotta change the case up so that way you can't use your previous case on you can't use your previous case on the new phone on there. But they're probably gonna change. I would say if they do USB-C on the next one on there, then that's like Apple's new forefront right there.
But I don't have to. You don't think? I don't think I have to upgrade, Hunter. Right? I can still keep my iPhone what I have now. Correct? I don't need to upgrade to
To
the
give
new
you an idea,
iPhone 14.
I have an iPhone XS.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah, I don't need to upgrade until they make something really, really different.
like
Because
it
my
would
phone's paid off. My phone's paid off right now.
yeah. I saw mine. I was going like, you know what? It works. It turns on. I'm
And
like,
but the thing is, they still doing stuff. You still get ISO 16, Hunter. So
yep.
it's strong enough. Is it strong
Yep.
enough? Is your iPhone strong enough to handle that?
Yeah, they still have again, I think for 15, they just cut off the eights, I think it was. So the next one would be the X, and the next one would be the XS.
Oh, so question actually. So the eights won't be able to get ISO 16, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think they were allowed to get the 15. Or
Okay.
or they did get the 15, but they can't get 16.
because they're not strong enough.
Yeah, because like every, over time, like the older processors aren't able to handle the new software thing. So
Like iPhone, like what I have and you have essentially.
yeah. So another rumor that they're gonna do is they're getting rid of the minis. So
Nice.
it's just gonna be the 14 Pro and the Pro Max on those.
So the iPhone minis are done.
Yeah, so I think they were just kind of like we're not getting a lot of sales from those guys from the minis.
Like they hoped that they was going to.
Yeah, because again, like we always talk about like Steve Jobs' mentality when it came to phones, which is like, listen, there's only one kind of phone. You know, there's our iPhone and there's everybody else. Like just pick
Right.
what we know what size we feel like doing. We know how to do that. And then Tim Cook kind of like changed that a little bit and saying that they weren't going to do that. Another rumor that they're going to do is they're going to get rid of all the cables in there too.
Ooh,
So the new box is just going to be the phone.
that's bad.
So because I think at this point, like here's the thing: if they properly do go over to USB-C, a lot of people do have a lot of other products that work off that right there. And plus, there's a lot of like other cables out. There's a lot of cable manufacturers who do USB-C. So like that's not going to be too hard to get a hold of. The plug itself is still a little harder on there. That you got to find different manufacturers who do those plugs.
The only way that I'll probably upgrade going for Hunter is if they stop updating with my phone. You know what I'm saying? Probably won't be for another 3 to 5 years.
Oh yeah, was it so? Let's say next year is let's even say the 8 got accepted this year. Like it's had
Mm-hmm.
15. Next year will be the X. After that would be the XS. Then after that would be the 11. Then after that would be the 12.
What you gonna do when they stop continuing yours? You're still gonna have yours. That's when you have to upgrade. You think like what's a good reason to upgrade your iPhone? Is it when they stop giving you updates on
Um,
your iPhone?
at the time when I used to work at Apple,
Mm-hmm.
um, the mentality that we always gave everybody was it's all on you. You
Okay.
know, our mentality, we're not going to be the people who tell you, yeah, it's time to upgrade this stuff right here. We're just going to be like, well, what issues are you having so far? And if any of the issues, like if they even would tell us, like, listen, if the person doesn't need to buy a phone, don't make them buy the phone. You know, don't like heavily say, hey, listen, yeah, buy the phone, because we don't make commission, we don't do any of that stuff on there. Um, we would just, it would just be like, okay, what are some things? They're like, well, it's starting to slow down, um, battery life or something like that. And then sometimes we just go like, well, do you need a new battery? That
Yeah.
thing that's a lot way cheaper than getting a brand new iPhone.
Right. Like again, like
Yeah.
my battery's at 87. I do want to go up there and get a changer probably in the next probably upcoming months because eventually it's gonna get down to 85. I at least want to get a change before 80, like 83-ish. I think 83-ish.
Right.
I think having 83% between 80 83%, you're gonna start noticing a slight decline in your in the iPhone's power. So it's like I would like to it's only $60 Hunter. And if they screw up, they give you a brand new iPhone anyways for free. If they screw up, yes. If they screw up.
Well, basically, if they screw up,
Yeah.
it's then for the price of the battery replacement, they they um they send over a brand new phone essentially.
Oh yeah, they give you yeah, like it's gonna be the same thing I have. Like they're not gonna give you a iPhone 13. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna be like, you have a 12 Pro, right? Yeah. Here's another 12 Pro. There you
Yep.
go. So brand new
Yep.
on us.
Because again, that's what happened to me. I was like, I gotta
Yeah.
basically I brought my phone in. They were like, okay, we'll get this done in 2 hours. Then I'm like, okay, well, I need to, I wait for 2 hours, which again, I've worked there, so I'm like, casual. I didn't really care. And they said, okay, let's go check on the iPhone on there. And they say, okay, we're actually having problems right now. We put in the brand new battery. Your phone didn't turn on. We put in the old battery, didn't turn on, so we had to send it off on there. So I got a replacement phone for a little bit.
What kind of phone did they give you for replacement?
XR.
Oh yeah, they do that, and then they download you until you can until they can give you one.
So then I had to wait, and then when they finally gave me the thing of saying, yeah, your phone was completely dead on arrival. So they gave me a brand new XS that I
How
could.
they have that laying around?
Um, I'm pretty sure, and this is again not going from any type of like insider information on there because they don't tell us jack anything. Uh, basically, I'm pretty sure that they have like some around just in case that kind of situation does happen.
They have only a certain amount probably.
Yeah, it's not like I'm pretty sure they don't just have like I'm not pretty sure they are like on sale or even might be from the refurbished store. Who knows? Um, but yeah, they might have done something where it was kind of like, okay, well, we're right here. We have some left over just because of one inventory.
Yeah, they probably had a lot when they made the iPhone. They probably had a lot of inventory, so they decided to keep some back. You never know.
Yep, just in case something happens. You know,
I'm just again. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So I wonder why your iPhone died. I wonder for what really happened to why it did.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy I got a brand new, I got a new version of my phone right here.
Exactly. Same. That again. Hopefully it's the same again. Hopefully again because if anything, yeah, I don't mind the gray, but the fact is I got the silver right now. So if anything happens to this and they can't fix my battery, I want the same color. I want the same everything, same specs, same everything.
I don't know. They give you all new stuff. They give, they downgrade your storage. They do all that good stuff. Yeah, I was thinking of doing the flip phone challenge on there.
Good luck with that.
Oh
Good
yeah,
luck
you're
with
gonna
that.
do it too.
No, I ain't.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get rid of your iPhone. We're gonna give you a flip phone for a little bit.
No, we're not.
Oh yeah, totally are. We already have somebody at your house grabbing your phone right now.
You liar. No, what? Hunter, you're being funny right now.
Of course. I'm
No,
always
but yeah, I'm definitely hyped to see what Apple's going to do this year. I know the iPhones are going to be the iPhones. We know that they're the same. I like to see if they're going to do anything more with iPads. Anything more with can you edit off? I wonder if we could. I wanted to have it so we can edit off iPads in the future.
Oh
I
no,
wonder if that's what they're
we can
trying to
already
do.
you can already do that.
You can already edit off
Oh,
iPads
they
film
just
wise.
was it two? I think 2 years ago now they just added you can do coding on an iPad, which
Nice.
which if you can do coding on an iPad, you can do anything on an iPad.
Oh, there you go. Like again, because eventually I do want to upgrade. I do want to have another. I think I do want to get a because this is going to discontinue Mac Minis. I would like to. You know what I said earlier. I would like to get a setup to where I get two other monitors, and then I go get a Mac setup so I can edit film on that. That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, but definitely having like a good station on here. Like at my house, I have like my big tower right here, and I got my ultra wide right here, and I love my ultra wide.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm definitely gonna buy an ultra wide after we get done, Hunter, and you give me the and I get the final payment. I'm gonna save the rest of that, but I'm gonna take was it 179 I think of
uh,
that money, and I'm gonna get my ultra wide.
yeah, I love my ultra wide. It sits on my desk. It has really good quality on that thing. Uh, I play games off this thing, and
Is it really good?
it's really
Does it
good
look
because you can
good?
see. I would just say this for you specifically because I know how when you stream, it does have a different aspect ratio change to your stuff.
Mhm.
So when you play off it, because again, I played Dead by Daylight on it. Looks great. The only problem is for somebody who streams like 16 by 9 content like you do, it does have an aspect ratio change on there. So you
Would would affect my stream at all? My aspect ratio would just affect it on my side on my eyes.
um it probably will because when I record because for the last couple of days I've been playing the new Spider-Man game, which we'll get into in a
Mhm.
second. And I have my ultra wide monitor. I'm watching Spider-Man flying through the sky with an ultra wide. And I record it. Right now I have about 19 hours of content on that thing. When I have to do it, I don't it's not in the 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It's in the basically 21 by 9 aspect ratio. So it's a lot more wider on that thing. So if you ever want to do the class where you want to do streaming, because depending on how Twitch is on like their how their aspect ratio is,
But
Um,
it should mess up my aspect ratio to stream, because if I had to go into a software to change that, you know what I'm saying? I have to manually go into OBS to say, hey, I want to stream at 900 at 60. If I'm just using that as an example, I shouldn't touch my stream ratio inside the OBS, because OBS and the monitor is two different things. I think I'm not sure. I'm assuming it probably meant the fact that I'm going to have to go and change to my eyes to what I want,
no, I mean, no,
essentially.
it's yeah, like I can show you like after stream what it looks like when I record it. Again, you can totally play in 16:9, but when you do it, it might crop off the sides a little bit because it's like because naturally this thing is so wide. Then when you go back into it, it crops it off for the 16:9 aspect ratio.
So what do you use?
So I just record it in the wide aspect ratio, and then I put it into like when I record it, I put it in the wide aspect ratio, and then I put it on YouTube and that ratio. So when you watch it, it's a lot wider. Of thing, it's almost like a cinematic experience on
Okay,
there.
so question to ask you, Hunter. So if I get this, if I get this monitor, can you help me figure that out once I get it set up and stuff?
I mean, totally, you can do that. It's like it's just going through OBS and doing that. It just might have a crop to it on either the sides on there.
I hope not. I
And
really
then
don't.
if you don't want to play in that wide aspect ratio, that stuff, you're like, I just want to play in 16:9. Your monitor can go to that right there, but you will see the black bars on the side.
No, I'll just go what it is then. You know what I'm saying? If I get that, if I'm spending almost $200 on a monitor, I will use it for what it's fully supposed to be used for. And hopefully uh on stream it doesn't affect that. Like I don't think it's gonna affect that like that personally. I never heard of a monitor that would affect how a person streams with a different software. Because a I never heard that before. So we'll
It's
see. Like
it's like just a
I,
matter of because again, there's different aspect ratios. There's
yeah, but you got the aspect ratio for the monitor, then you got the one for the stream. The two difference. Like I don't play. There's my core monitor now. I don't. It's not 7:20. Let me see what it is. I gotta see what what is my aspect ratio. I'm gonna check right quick.
it should be 16:9 in terms of what your because every monitor like back in the day when computers were starting to
Mhm.
come out, it was 4:3.
So what's that under Hunter for? It's on the systems, right? I believe so, right?
So you would go into your system right there. You
Mhm.
go into about as soon as it comes up, it should show what your native aspect ratio is on here.
But yeah, my display resolution is 1920 by 1080.
Yep, it's a 16:9
Okay,
on
so
there.
is that
Yeah.
okay?
And then mine is 2560 by 1080. Um, so that one is a 21:9 aspect ratio.
Yeah, I don't have a 20, what you have.
Yeah,
It's a recommendation. Yeah.
because I mine is a lot more wider in terms of what it is on there. And
Okay,
then
so if I get that, I'll have to go. What is it? 25. Yeah, I see now. Mine. I know why. So again, would that be a hefty stream to stream on? I wonder.
well, it's not in terms of like how much it has to go through on there. It's a matter of like
Mhm.
let's say you're trying to get into a square box. Like
Okay.
you have a square box. That's what you're natively are streaming at. Like basically, so 16:9 nowadays is the standard aspect ratio for everybody's thing. Most
Mhm.
monitors do that. Most computers do that. They're all basically that kind of ratio. It's like 16:9. Like most televisions are 16:9. So let's say you have that big wide, so you have that square, but now you have like a wide rectangle you're trying to get through. Um, Basically, you can still show it, but there's going to be like a crop to it because either you're trying to get all that information into that thing, it's either going to shrink down so it can fit into that size. So you have the black bars on the top and bottom, uh, or you crop off the sides and then you're only focusing on the middle right there.
No, no, and my artist could see that, correct?
Uh, you're probably most likely or I mean, let me see if I can pull up a screenshot that I just took from that stuff so I can send it right to you. So now we're
Yeah,
learning. So guys, we're all learning about aspect ratios today.
we are, because it's like because I do want this monitor. again, because I do want something that looks nice. Again, because this monitor looks like the color. Sometimes I'll be playing or I'll be just watching on my monitor and my main one, and it will just the color would just go dull. I'm not saying it's going bad, just could be just need to be recalibrated. But at the end of the day, it's like I want something that's better than this curve monitor. This curve monitor is not bad, and don't get me wrong, it's not bad. But I want something wider.
I get it. When you play games, especially a 21:9 aspect ratio monitor on there, is fantastic. Like I've played many times on, like, I used to play games on a 16:9. It was pretty good. But when I do this one right here, it's because again, you can see a lot more information while you're playing. So you can
Oh
really see
yeah.
it. Like when I play Dead by Daylight specifically, I'm able to like I like zoom my camera around so that way, you can look at every type of ratio. And I kind of see the killer first, like off to the side right there, because it's so wide that you're looking off to the right corner.
That's cool.
I'm
So is
one of the first people who runs.
that's the actual wideness of the thing, right? That's what it comes in with. What's the actual the metrics, Hunter, for this monitor that you should be using if you get it?
So what I use the 25 was it 25/6 I said, yeah, it was 2560 by 1080. That's the aspect ratio I use. You don't have that on your current monitor just because it's a 16:9 aspect ratio monitor. If I were to play, like if I were to say, you know what, I only want to stream 1080 on this thing, I can do 1080 on this thing, but there'd be a crop on both sides of the monitor on there. But I'm playing Dead by Daylight and Spider-Man. Um, they're I play in the ultra wide because I like to see every single aspect of the thing on there. But for streaming, it might have a little bit of a crop on there. You'll either have the black bars on the top, or you'll probably go into the black bars on the side.
Can I stop that from happening?
You can either, because when I use OBS, I usually have to either zoom it out, or I tell my computer, hey, listen, record that ultra wide right there. Then in post, I gotta actually shrink that down. Like when I have to go into Premiere, I always shrink that down so you get that, or I just put it on YouTube as the ultra wide look to it.
So do you think you think I should use it, or you think I should not get that kind of monitor because of that reason?
I would say specifically if you game, like you're just playing for games on there, then 100%. Like ultra wide is beautiful.
But for streaming,
it's a little awkward.
Okay.
It might be a little awkward.
So what do you think I should get for a new monitor for streaming, Hunter? If not an ultra wide?
If you don't want to get an ultra wide, just get a very it's one of those things where as a film editor, I would say don't get a curved screen.
Yeah, I got a curve one right now. I got a curved monitor right now.
The only reason is because like if you're trying to line something up, they always say don't try to go ultra wide. Oh, no, don't try to get a curved one, because then you can't really line it up because it's so, it bends out a little bit.
So which would you recommend online?
But if you're playing as a gamer, maybe another curved on there.
Okay, like I have now.
Yeah, I would say as a streamer, I try to get a flat screen like the other monitor you have on there, just maybe a little bit more
Bigger.
more high quality, maybe.
Okay, can you what should I look up for that, Hunter? Let's see.
Well, LG is always a good one on there. Now we're going shopping advice for everybody.
We are shopping advice. Let's go.
So I would, as a film editor, I like to have because when I put my films on my timeline right here, you get to see the whole entire, I get to utilize the whole entire big screen on there to
monitor,
put different stuff on there. When I play games, you get to see that, you get to see all that information that you see right there. So I'm able to see the little thing that's about to hit me on the side on there.
Oh my god!
Although I still get hit, so.
I'm just trying to think which one should I look at, Hunter. Oh my god, these are very expensive. So I have one looks like it has a 32 Ultra gear. It's called Ultra Gear. No, I don't want to pay $400. Oh my god, it's just a big monitor there. What do you think? Like a LG 27 Ultra Gear, QHD IPS gaming monitor with G Instant capability. What do you think about that one, Hunter?
I would just say if you're going to be getting a monitor, LG is always a good brand for that. Again, even Apple supports. So, those guys are pretty darn good. I have
I'm gonna send you a picture of it. For $300, you can't beat it.
yeah. I would say for you, these are the for any type of gamer, having something that has a high refresh rate. It's having a high refresh rate.
Let me know
Um,
if this has it.
so like my monitor has a 75 hertz refresh rate on there. So I'm able to catch things like basically it plays really high speed gaming on there. Um, I mean, looks pretty good. So that way when you have that good refresh rate. Trying to think what else thing on there.
I definitely need to take you with me when we go to Best Buy to look at another gaming monitor, so you can show me which one that you feel that I should get. Just because of I want to have it so where, it's you definitely what I'm saying. What's better? I think when I got my PC, I should have went with you to instead of getting this monitor here. It's not a bad monitor, but I think I need something more.
I get it. It has a high refresh rate, so that's good for gaming on there.
So that does what I sent to you does have that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
So
that's that's not bad.
it
So
has two HDMI's, has a display port, which is actually pretty darn good. Um, basically display port is a lot higher than an HDMI port on
okay.
there. Basically, here's a cheat I do on this. So my monitor right here against a 25 by, it's 2560 by 1080. However, I use a display port plug for how it plugs into my computer. So my other HDMI ports are safe on there. So because of that, my actual monitor is saying like, oh yeah, you can play up to uh 3840 by 2160, so a more 4K look to it. I still keep it at my 1081 on there just because I've seen it where it looks like it's trying too hard to do it. But the monitor also does HDR, which honestly is overrated if you really get into it. A lot of people say, no, HDR, HDR, best thing ever on the whole entire world.
No.
Actuality, not that,
No, but at least this is not selling the store, so I have to order online. So if I decide to order this Hunter once I have the money for it, do you think that this is a great monitor to have? It's what I need, correct? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not an ultra. It's not a curve. It's a straight. I think
Right.
it is a straight. I believe so. It's a straight. Yeah,
I would just
that's not a
say,
curve.
I would just say, I would just say either look at it in the store itself
It's
or
not in the store though. They don't. It's
I
not
mean, like, yeah,
compatible in the store.
you would go to the store, see how a monitor would look with those
Okay.
specifications on there. So
Mhm.
that way you can say like, okay, this is how it actually feels doing it on there. Because if you're just upgrading your monitor to another 1080 on there, visually you're not going to see much of a difference unless you get a high refresh rate version on there. Uh, but in that one I would just say see in store, just like how other monitors look.
I'll just take you with me on that because it's like I know I'm saying this mod is still good. It's just like I just don't know if it's going or not because like sometimes I'll be gaming or I'll be streaming and that's to turn it off because it loses its color. Like the color would just automatically just get you could see from going from bright to dull. So I don't know if the monitor is going to because again it's almost 4 years old. The monitors only last for so long. Um, so it's like I want to make sure that that's the reason why for me because to be honest with you, if this monitor was fine, I would keep it. Like I wouldn't go for anything because it's like it still works. But it's like if I'm losing color sometimes and I have to inside the screen itself and I have to turn it on, turn it back on to get it back to color it back to what it's supposed to be. So it's like yeah, I like that monitor that I showed you because it's like it matches my other one. It is the 27-inch. The one that I have over from my chat screen is 27-inch. This is 25, my main. So they'll both be 27 inches.
Right. I mean, we'll be, again, there's a lot of things we can look into to see like how you want to, game and stream and all that good stuff on there, see which ones you feel very comfortable with on there. And yeah, once we get that, you definitely I mean, I would say I've seen it too. I've seen I've seen the screen dulling and then going down and all that good stuff on there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that means that the monitor is about to go or that means that I don't know. Like I'm just trying to figure out what that would be. I honestly don't know what that would be, Hunter. I'm just trying to think. But again, the monitor I just sent to you on an iMessage, it like I said, it looks like it like you read it. It features all the calibers that I need. It's not like the ultra wide that you got, so it doesn't it won't do anything. Again, like you just said, if it's just 1920 by 1080 is probably what I need anyways. Honestly, I don't need anything for gaming like that. Don't need anything like wider because it would just make it awkward for streaming. Where if I was not a streamer, maybe you'd be like, yeah, go for the ultra wide.
Oh
But
yeah,
since
I would definitely
yeah,
say, yeah, I would definitely say if it wasn't for the fact that you stream, if you just
hmm
wanted to game that way, then yeah, it looks
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. But again, I for me, it's not made for me. Like the monitor I sent to you, it's made for me. Honestly, yeah, I would pay $299 for it if I had it. Uh, because I think it's being as I said is I could show that because I don't know if the guy still works at Best Buy in Dover, but again I can go with you can go with me whatever one day when I need to go get it or if I want to, and then could I know I still ask them say is this the proper one and they say yeah I could order it right there.
Yep. I mean, I get it. And but yeah, once you get to see it in like once you get to see those like different versions in a store on there, you get to see like how it feels, how it all ties together. And then by that you go like, okay, this is what I want to move forward with. Uh but yeah, I was just looking back on the Spider-Man footage I shot last night. And I mean, what was your favorite Spider-Man, by the way?
Toby Maguire #1.
Is that Toby?
Yep, Toby's my favorite
Yeah,
because
then
he's always gonna be the original, always gonna be the original.
that is true. I'll I would say because I mean that movie, like the Spider-Man franchise, they went through a lot of development before they even made the Sam Raimi one.
Sam Raimi did all three,
He did three. Yep. He was going to do four, five, and six all back to back,
but he didn't do
but
it.
he was like, "Listen, you know, he just if he couldn't do four right, he wasn't going to do the rest of them."
No, but at least no, because for example, he did three with Toby. I'm shocked they didn't do 4, 5, and 6 with Toby, or 4, 5 with Toby either.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know why they changed it after 3 movies.
Um, they were gonna well, basically, three didn't turn out good. Which even Sam Raimi, if you ask him, he said it's his worst movie. Like even he said it's a bad movie.
If it would have
Uh,
turned out, you think that they would have brought Toby back for 4 and 5? You think, right?
well, he like Toby was already signed on. He was already signed on. Like Kirsten Dunst and was it J.K. Simmons, Kirsten Dunst, and Toby were all signed on for four, five, and six.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even Sam Raimi was too, but he was like, "Listen, three sucked, so I want to go and I want to make a good. I want the fourth one to be the best Spider-Man movie ever." But the studio was like, "Well, we want to, we want to shoot, we want to shoot at this time." And Sam was like, "I don't even know if I'm going to do," because he didn't want to rush the script and he didn't want the studio to be involved. Because if you don't know, when they did Venom in the movie, because the original idea for Spider-Man 3 was going to be it was going to be Harry. I think no, I don't think it was going to be Harry in there. It may have been Harry. It was going to be Sandman and Vulture who were going to be the villains of that movie. It was going to be those two villains. But then the studio was like, well, Venom is really popular. Venom is really popular. Everybody likes Venom. So you probably should do Venom in there. And he was going like, I'm not into Venom. I don't like Venom. I don't think Venom's a good character. But the studio was like, Venom is really popular. Venom is really popular. Venom is really a good character. I mean, he's Spider-Man's best villain and all that stuff. So he eventually said, okay, fine, I'll do it.
No, but the fact is, you see how the
It's,
studio had so much. If the studio would stay out of it and let and trust the content creators that do it, I think it would have been a better movie, and we would have had Kirsten Dunn,
which apparently she was
Toby.
done after Spider-Man 2.
She didn't want to do it anymore after that.
Like after 2, she was like, apparently the interviews went around. She was going like, so what would you want to do as your character in the next movie? She says, I just want to die in the next movie.
Yeah, she was done with it. I don't think she wants to do it anymore.
Yeah. So basically it was so originally Gwen was going to become the new love interest of that movie. So that's why they introduced her. because Kirsten didn't want to do it anymore. Even the final sequence, even the final one when Venom
Mhm.
has her in the rafters and all that good stuff.
Yep.
Well, apparently, it wasn't like Kirsten wasn't supposed to be in that one. It was supposed to be Gwen in that one. Uh, but even Sam Raimi told her, he says, "Listen, you're not going to be the damsel in distress in the last part of the movie. Like, I get it. We're not going to do that to you." But the studio was kind of like, we need more Mary Jane in this. We need Mary Jane at the end. And so he had to go up. He actually did have to go with the Kirsten Dunst and say, "Listen, I am sorry, but we do have to bring you back for this." So that's what they
Yeah.
had to go through for that.
That's why they was done. I think, and then that's when they kicked Toby. I didn't Toby want to do it more, but they said, Toby, you're done, right?
No. So what it was is, so again, Sam Raimi was going to go do the next Spider-Man. He was going to get ready to do the next Spider-Man. He was working with script writers on that. They were getting the script together, but he was very big on saying, "Listen, if we don't have a good script, I ain't doing it right. I'm not going to do it right now."
Mhm.
But he understood the studio was very much like, "Listen, we need to have another Spider-Man movie coming out right now. We need to have another Spider-Man coming out right now." And he was just very much like, I'm not really into this. So in the background, they were already planning the reboot. They were already planning it in the background. So just in case Sam said, I'm done, they say, okay, we're going to do that. So then they started getting into that whole entire thing. And eventually, Sam was like, okay, listen, I'm not getting anywhere with the script. The script is not turning out good. You know what? You guys move forward to reboot. I don't need hard feelings, so I'm not leaving on bad terms. It's just I don't want to waste your guys' money and time developing something that's not working out. So that's what they did.
That
So
sucks, man.
he
Because I really would like this. I wish what it could have been with 4, 5, and 6.
Yep. So the fourth one was supposed to be with Vulture in that one, and the Voltress, which is supposed to be Black Cat from the comics. They were gonna get Anne Hathaway to play, which she eventually played Catwoman, which was funny. Uh, they eventually said, okay, you know what, we'll get her. You know, we're gonna bring her in as the next love interest. I think they even did a rumor that there was Spider-Man and Mary Jane were gonna have a kid in this one, and
That sounds nice.
at the very end, it was going to be that Vulture was Peter's dad in
Oh
that one.
my.
Uh, then I'm not sure how much you know about Sam Raimi with Bruce Campbell.
No.
In the movies, he was the ring announcer. He was the French restaurant guy from the third one,
Really?
and then he was the what do you want to call that guy? The theater guy who when Peter's trying to get inside he's trying to get in the theater to see Mary Jane's play.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh,
So the fact is, so they had a kid. So they, in the fourth one, that was going to fast forward it up to when they had a kid, correct?
yeah, the rumor was they were gonna have a kid in this one, and it was gonna be a baby on there. Um, so it was gonna be that where there's gonna be that. Then Anne Hathaway is gonna come in there and be like the home wrecker essentially. And then Vulture was gonna be after Spider-Man. I don't know what the Vulture's plan was gonna be in this one, but apparently that was gonna happen. And then at the very end, it was gonna be like the same way that Spider-Man 3 ended, where Peter and MJ were not gonna be on good terms, but again, they have a kid, so it's kind of like we have to be together.
Okay. And then for the fifth one, it would have been into that where
So
the
the
kid
fifth
is
one,
older.
so
Yeah.
another thing that the studio wanted for the fourth one was they wanted Lizard in that one. So they were going up to Sam going, "Hey, listen, we had Lizard in this one, so we kind of want to have the Lizard, in there." But he was kind of like, "Listen, I already have, we already see where this goes. I'm not, too keen on this." So
Imagine if if they let Sam Raimi do whatever, how they could have done all 6 movies with Toby.
yep. So again, the rumor was going to be like when I remember when I was a kid, when I heard different rumors of what the 4 and 5 and 6 was going to be. So the rumor was going to be that 4 was going to be with Lizard and Vulture, which apparently from Sam and different script leaks now was that it was just going to be Vulture. Then the fourth one, well, the sixth one, sorry, fifth one. Wow, I hit every number but that. I hit every number but that one. So for the fifth one, it was going to be Lizard on that one. So we would have built it up from 2 to 5 of the Lizard, and then 6 was going to be Morbius.
Nice.
So that was, but Sam has came out and said, listen, if is like, yes, we had 4 and 5 planned, but we weren't going to do them unless, like, I was not going to focus on them until, like, apparently they already had writers going for 5 and 6 already. Like, they were already having writers going for 5 and 6, which Sam comes out and says, listen, we were not going to do 5 and 6 unless 4 did good. So,
But they never released 4, so
yeah, so there it goes. And they did the reboot with Andrew.
yeah, dude. Man, Toby is my favorite. Like, I just wish the studio. You know, it's why these movies suck in Hollywood is because the studio don't give a crap. It's most likely what they do is they will make they will pester the content creator or the director that's trying to make it, and then all of a sudden they have something playing in the background because they wanted it so bad. If they just let the script take form, I guarantee you they probably could have made 4 into something great.
Yeah, like 4, like from 4 with because again, Raimi was very big on saying, listen, I want to make the best Spider-Man movie there can ever be. And
I think the reason why 3 was no good is because of what the studio interference had in there. If the studio interference in 3, maybe Raimi would have been a little bit fine mentally to do 4.
because again, they gave him plenty of time for each one. Because, well, to be fair, on the first Spider-Man movie, he was brought on with, I think, 2 weeks to prepare.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he did a base drive for Spider-Man 1.
because they apparently, like, they brought him on like last minute to do the movie. Like, somebody else was going to direct the movie, and then they just went up to Sam and said, I guess they fired the other guy, and they said, Sam, listen, are you free are you free to shoot this movie? And so he was like, okay, and so he had like 2 weeks prepared to do.
He did an amazing job.
He came back for Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what coulda woulda if he would have done all 6 of them, or at least 4 of them.
Yeah, if he
with
would.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, and this is hilarious. There was an interview that came out like days before the reboot was announced. That they asked Toby. They said, "Okay, are you getting ready to do 4?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm ready to do 4. Sam is working on 4. Kirsten's doing, Kirsten's in it. J.K. Simmons is in 4. Like, everybody's in, like, he even said, like, yeah, we're getting ready to do it, or he had the deals ready to go. And Sam is working really hard on it. Then a few days later, they said, okay, now we're rebooting the movie.
I wonder why they just didn't just replace Sam and just do Toby and the rest of the actors.
Because Toby was like, listen, well, I think the form came is after Sam left, they were like, okay, Toby was like, well, I don't want to do it if Sam's not on it. And then Kirsten said, well, I'm not doing it if Toby's not doing it. J.K. Simmons is like, well, I'm not doing it if they're not doing
it. So imagine if Toby kind of hurt himself there, if you think about it. I'm not saying he hasn't been anything past that, but I'm talking about stuff that
I think he upgraded to a producer nowadays.
No, he has, but I'm saying this, it kind of derailed his acting career. Yeah, he is a producer, but it's like if you would, I know they like Sam, but imagine if they would have did it with another director. I understand why, but it's like, bro, you kind of sabotaged your career a little bit in the early 2000s because Spider-Man was making him big.
I mean, to be fair, he made millions of dollars doing
3. I know, but I'm just that fan that want to see 4, 5, and 6.
But yeah, 4, 5, and 6 would have been like a really good amount of things on there.
Yeah. And it's not that I don't like Andrew Garfield. It's just like I just wish they would have finished that with Toby.
Yeah, it was just heartbreaking how that went because Sam was just very much like, listen, I don't want to make a bad movie again. Like, even interviews nowadays, he'll even say like, they'll say somebody asked him, I said like, how'd you think about Spider-Man 3? He says, oh, it sucks. And then he even talked about like, well, listen, you know, I've been, not a lot of directors talk about their their bad movies, but I just want to let you know, yes, Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie. And so even he doesn't like it.
No, no, but again, imagine if all the actors, because they was gonna do the reboot if Toby and the others was gonna do it, correct? Hunter doesn't get another director, correct?
They from what it says to them was they were going to reboot it either way.
So it doesn't
Like
matter.
basically because they were apparently because the studio was already like, okay, listen, Spider-Man 3 didn't do that good. So might tarnish little things. So we should probably go in a different way and actually reboot it. But Sam still says he's gonna do 4. So Sam still says we're gonna do 4.
Oh, so when Sam said I'm not doing it this, okay, just pull the
Because
plug.
yeah, because they already had one in the background. Like they had the reboot happening in the background while Sam was planning 4. So they were almost like, okay, well, if this was to happen, that Sam says he's done, that they can say, okay, well, we already have this on plan. So that's why because I think the reboot was announced in 2011, I think. No, like Spider-Man 4 was supposed to come out in 2011, but the reboot came out in 2012. So that's why they were able to do the movie so fast, is because they were already planning it in the background.
This sucks.
Yeah.
That studio interference, like, of course, Spider-Man 3 ain't gonna do good, dude, because you interfered with it. It was the major production company that made it flop.
Oh yeah. Well, apparently because like it was the highest rated Spider-Man movie. Like it was the highest grossing Spider-Man movie out there.
But it still did bad. But it still did bad in their
It was a
eyes.
bad movie wrapped in like good box office.
So that's why the studio was like, "Oh crap!" Even if they made oodles of money, they still wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, because I think Spider-Man 3 again had like a 3-year development, which is funny. Yeah, I think that one had what was it? It made 809 was it $894.9 million.
How much did they spend?
200 million.
Okay, so okay, so it was profitable. So I'm just trying to figure out why did they want to reboot in the background if it was profitable? Because that's what all company businesses care about. Like especially major companies like that, they don't give a crap about how the movie looks. If it can it make you money, it did. It just doubled, almost tripled your money right there.
Yep. They did that whole entire debacle right there where they were just kind of like, okay, well, because they're just very much like, oh man, if this doesn't work out, we got to start from scratch.
No, you didn't have to start from scratch again. Now, if the actors would have said, "Hey, regardless if Sam's not here or not, we still want to do it," I think they probably would have rolled with it. Maybe I don't know if the actors, maybe the actors kind of probably pushed them over the edge a little bit when they said, "We don't want to do it anymore if Sam ain't doing it."
Yep. So it's
It
like
was like
it's like
this is the line.
it would have been the equivalent of like if we did a movie, we did 3 of them, and then at the very end, I go like, hey, listen, I'm done. It's going like, yeah, I'm not sure it's gonna be the same.
Right. No, I'll probably move on to if you say you're done, I'm like, if he's done, I'm done.
Yeah. So it's like
So
that. So,
yeah.
but I was, and then Sam Raimi, his career kind of like changed a little bit. Like, because he didn't do a movie like he did. I'm not sure if you remember Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah, he did that.
Uh, that movie came out in 2013. He didn't direct another movie until 2022.
He was going through mental, Hunter. I guarantee he has some kind of mental thing going on.
Oh yeah, he was. I mean, he produced a lot of stuff. I mean, let's not get that wrong. He produced a lot of
But
stuff.
producers it's not a lot of stress. Like he probably, I don't know if he was executive. He could have just been like a plain producer. He could have been like, let's say, this is. He might have just probably the producer role probably was just something a little easier. He
Do you
probably
know
had something where what he got
the
paid for.
Ring?
Yeah.
The Ring from like who's in Dead by Daylight.
Mm-hmm.
He was the American producer for that.
Yeah, so I guess if it's as long as it wasn't was he executive or just plain producer?
I think he was just I think he was his own company who was producing it. So I'm pretty sure he was the front hand like producer who picked those movies out and then probably like helped other people kind of get into it. He was producing television, he was producing movies, he was
Yeah,
producing like a bunch of movies.
but I guarantee he probably wasn't up the director's ass like they were to him with Spider-Man. I guarantee you it was like, hey, you got creative freedom. I know I'm putting the money to this, but you got creative freedom. I imagine, I don't know. I think that the Spider-Man fiasco kind of messed Sam up mentally. He probably don't know if you ever talk about it, but maybe dealing with that studio that's saying this, and this. He's like, bro, it's just so exhausted, mentally exhausted.
Yeah, so he produced and producer only. He produced The Grudge, the American version, uh Boogeyman,
Yeah, you
Grudge
see
2.
that. Yeah, you see how his films changed.
Yeah. I mean, he was a horror director in general, like before
Mm-hmm.
they hired him. Like he was like if you know Sam, he's a really good like horror director. Uh but yeah, he did The Grudge 2, The Messengers, 30 Days of Night, The Possession, The Evil Dead remake, Murder of a Cat. I haven't seen that one. Poltergeist, Don't Breathe, Crawl, another Grudge. Interesting. Unholy, Don't Breathe 2, Night Books, Uma, 65, and Boy Kills World.
Nice. So he got a pretty penny to do Spider-Man. So he did all horror before Sony said, "Hey, we need you."
Yep, he did It's Murder, The Evil Dead, Crime Wave, Evil Dead 2, Easy Wheels, Darkman, which is amazing by the way. I would love to do the remake of that movie of Darkman. The Nut House, Army of Darkness, The Hudsucker Proxy, The Quick and the Dead, A Simple Plan, For Love of the Game, The Gift, and then he did Spider-Man.
I just they messed up Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
Like,
which yeah, because he just didn't like Venom. He didn't understand him. He wasn't really a big fan of it. And he, to be fair, he didn't have to put him in there. But he was kind of like, okay, listen, because the studio is asking me to do it, I'll throw you a bone. I'll do it.
no, imagine if he would have not did it.
Yeah, he
Imagine he
would.
probably not got fired, but they would have been probably a little upset.
Well, because the funny thing was, this is funny because the producer of the movie, he's still the producer of Spider-Man nowadays too. This is funny. Avi Arad, I think that's his name. Um, he went up to he like after Spider-Man 3 when Sam was like, "Oh, I want to do Vulture and Sandman." And he asked him, "Hey, could you do Venom?" He says, "No, I don't want to do that." He says, "Listen, Sam, you're doing all these characters who are your favorites, but this is nowadays. So people don't like that stuff nowadays."
You
You know.
never know.
Yeah.
Sandman and Vulture, you don't know. Could have been better movie.
So that's why he was saying, like, yeah, you should probably do Venom because, it's a little better. He's a little bit more modern. Everybody likes him and all that good stuff.
No,
Whereas Sam wanted to do the classic Spider-Man villains, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, Vulture. I think
that's why.
Scorpion. I think
Yeah,
Scorpion would have been in there somewhere.
that's why Green Goblin was the first one.
Yeah, because he was in Sam's eyes, Green Goblin was Spider-Man's number one villain.
So
Like,
so Sony let Sam do whatever he wanted in the first one.
because well, I think they were already going to go with when James Cameron wanted to do it, I think it was Doctor Octopus.
In the first
Yeah,
one,
it would have been Doctor Octopus and because I think the original plan before Sam came on there was they were going to do Green Goblin and Doc Ock in the first movie, but they were kind of realized, okay, that's a lot to put in the first movie. So let's just do it to one villain. I think they chose Green Goblin on there. And again, Sam came in there kind of like in a late period on there. So they kind of was like, okay, well, how about now?
so
So
he liked the first movie. Sam liked the first movie.
yeah, again, like that was his first studio movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was well, I mean, as he quoted saying when he did Spider-Man 2, he says Spider-Man 1, like he did other studio movies. It wasn't like he never did a studio movie, but that was like the first one that was like a big studio movie where you have like so many players happening on there. You don't just have yourself and your friends, you have a lot of other people who are working for you.
I wish the producer was a little bit more on the film, was a little bit more supportive of what Sam wanted to do. I guarantee you, if he would have, if the producer would have backed him on the Sandman and Vulture, imagine we would have got it.
Oh yeah, because that would have been like a really different movie. I mean, Harry probably would have been put in there because they've been building that up since one on there.
Mm-hmm.
That Harry may have been the third one on there, third villain, but I think Sam would have had a little bit more of his own. He would have felt a little bit more better about 3. Even if 3 sucked, I think he would have still been like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? At least I can stand by my own crap.
Oh no, I feel for him because studios, big studios, what messes movies nowadays, and then they want to say the was the director's fault. No, it was your fault. If you let the director have creative freedom and trust them, I know, yes, a $200 to $300 million movie, I understand. It's like you again, you're the one that messes it up. If you think about it, studios, you're the one, the major studios, you mess up the film. Nobody likes it, but the reason why you continue to do it because you get your money from it. But then you got, I agree, Spider-Man 3 was dog shit. It was dog crap. It
Yep.
always will be dog shit.
Yep. Also, here's something I know it's gonna piss you off more, but I want to see your reaction off this. Because we know your favorite Spider-Man is Tom Holland.
No, I can't stand Tom Holland. Why? What, dude. Tom Holland looks like a freaking weak ass Spider-Man. The man didn't want to wear the costume. He's like, "Can you put this on my face? Can you literally put this on my face? Because I don't want to wear it." Like, dude, I just think I don't think he's good. As a Spider-Man. He's good at on Nathan Drake. I'd say that, but he's not a Spider-Man. And the reason why they want him because his name was big at the time.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what. That's what.
when they got him as Spider-Man, he had audition, but once he got Spider-Man, he became the big star on there.
Dude, he sucked. Toby. Again, I don't mind Garfield, but I think Toby is better than all 3 of them.
Oh yeah. And here's the thing that this is why I said it's gonna piss you off. So the Spider-Man game that I play, which is amazing by the way, I say it's the best Spider-Man story you'll ever see. And you can wear the Sam Raimi suit in it too. So technically you could say that's Spider-Man 4 if you really want to go into that. They had a face actor who looked like Peter. Like he looked just like Peter Parker. Like if you looked at it, you could say like, yes, that's Peter. That's Peter. The game, I don't know who got into it, but they were like, you know what? We need the face actor to look more like Tom Holland. So they replaced his whole entire face actor on there to look like Tom Holland. I am so pissed when I see it. Like I play the game. That is the one thing about the game that even when I'm watching the cutscenes, like if you watch with the original face actor, he looks like he looks like Peter. But when you look at the remastered version, they put the other actor's face on there. He looks like a 12-year-old talking with adults on there. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was like, can I just pay to have somebody replace that face? Like I get so mad looking at it that it like really gets me mad.
Dude, I'm just saying that's a studio for you, man. That's the Sony's behind it. That's the section of Sony. So the studio has so much influence. It's shit. Hollywood, you hear me. You produce dog shit because you don't want to listen. Like, dude, no. Only reason why everybody's gaga over Tom Holland because he's cute. I don't think he's good. Only reason why he's getting this treatment is because everybody's like, Tom Holland, he's so hot. I think he's not. So it's like, dude, I don't understand. Dude, it's just I don't get it, man.
Like here, I'm sending you the photo right now of what the difference is on there. Tell me how much that pisses you off looking at that.
Dude, Tom Holland pisses me off. Dude, what is that? What is that, dude? That looks like 11-year-old, dude. Like, what
Yep.
is that?
And
Like,
he makes out with Mary Jane in the thing, which I'm like,
I
he
like the
looks like
one
a
on the left.
12-year-old.
The one that actually looks like Peter. The one on the left. The one on the right is the Tom Holland. It
Yeah.
just so
Like the original face actor was the one on the left. And he even the voice actor who plays him in the thing looks like that guy. He looks like him. And I'm like, yes, he is like the perfect Spider-Man you can have together. Then when they did the face actor replacement, well, again, the face actor was pissed, obviously he was pissed. But then the guy who did the voice on me says, well, I kind of look more like the guy on the right, type thing. I'm like, no, you don't. It's like, you're saying that you look more like Tom Holland. No, you don't look like more like Tom Holland. You look more like the guy on the left.
yeah, I don't know why they. Again, I know why they did it, but it's like, bruh,
They try,
yeah,
yeah, they try to do
you.
like the continuity thing on there where
It doesn't matter because haters like me, like I'm not gonna lie to you, YouTube. I do not like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I'm a Tom Holland hater as Spider-Man. The fact is, they don't adapt to people like me. Again, it's probably more outweighs the good because of more good outweighs the bad. Because I was like, Tom Holland, next big thing. No,
But
I
yeah,
don't think so.
I'm
I
just
think he
gonna
sucks.
hate when I have to come across there's gonna be emotional scenes in there. I'm not gonna spoil what happens in the game
I'll
on
probably never
there.
play Hunter because of him looking like that. So you could spoil it, but I'm not
I'm
gonna
just
ever
saying,
play it
okay,
because
I'll
it's
say
Tom
this.
Holland in it.
For anybody, again, for anybody who's gonna play the Spider-Man game, spoilers, skip ahead, mute it for about I'll say a minute, maybe, because I'll say this on here. So in the game, you know, Doc Ock's the main villain at the very end. There's a whole emotional scene that Peter goes through on there, and it's very tragic. And you see it in his face. Like you see it in his face, like it is killing him that this
Right.
happened. Because like it was his mentor and everything. That's the most I'm gonna go into spoilers about it. Um, that when you see it, it's like when you see Peter's face, you actually feel that pain that's going on there. When you look at it with the Tom Holland face on there, it looks like a 12-year-old crying. Or it doesn't even look like he's crying. It just makes it look like he stubbed his toe.
Dude,
And like
I
when
can't.
I have to play that scene at the very end of the game because I haven't beat it. I know the end of the game, but still when I beat it, I gotta go like, I gotta sit here and watch this.
Dude, I don't know why. I don't know why. I know why, but it's like always studio interference always screws stuff up. And like I said, but they still make money for it because people don't care. But people like me, because you bought it, so you gave them your money.
Oh, believe me,
But
it was a game that I was 100% waiting for. Like,
oh no, I'm not buying. Like if I like Spider-Man, but Sony's making it so well, it's not making me want to enjoy it anymore because Tom Holland, dude, he's not a good Spider-Man. And anybody wants to fight me on it, they are wrong. Tell me what Tom Holland's good at for Spider-Man. Man's too short. He looks like a kid. I don't think his acting is pretty good for Spider-Man. Like when he came, the dude was crying because he didn't want to wear the thing. He did not want to wear the mask over his head. I think that was a report of that. I'm not sure.
if he makes you feel good, he may not be may not be Spider-Man anymore.
Good. Fired his ass. He sucks. Like he's ass. He's dog water. Dude, like nobody's gonna be better than Tobey Maguire unless somebody comes in there that does something better than I would say. That again, everybody's right to their opinion. I like Garfield. Garfield was my number 2. There's no number 3. I know there's 3 Spider-Mans out. That's how much I don't like Tom Holland Spider-Man. I have 2. I count 2. Tobey's my first. And Garfield's my second. That third one should never been rebooted again. How many times are you gonna reboot it? So you can reboot it for the 4th effing time. After you've probably Tom Holland's done or the studio's done with him. So it's like why? It's just let it die. Spider-Man should be done. We had some good movies, some not good movies. Just it should be over. How many times are we reboot the damn thing?
Because now Sony's doing their own Spider-Verse right now, where they're gonna be like basically they have Venom, they have Craven, which Craven got bullshitted on, which is stupid. And I'm gonna tell you what that is in a second. but they're doing that. They did Morbius, which sucked. And, like they even say it's the worst post post credit sequence ever. Like
Yeah,
they even
because it's a
say
studio. They suck. Like
because
they it's
yeah,
them, Hunter. It's Sony. It's not the
yeah,
director. It's not the producers. It's Sony. They're like, oh, what? Why do we do this? Why do we do that?
like
And they can't say nothing because they want their jobs. You know what I'm saying?
well, to give you an idea, that like this is the reason why I think this will make you feel you will hate it a lot more on there. So for Craven the Hunter, I just told you the name, Craven the Hunter.
Mhm.
What do you think of when you hear a hunter? He's Spider-Man's villain, by the way. He's a villain.
He's supposed to hunt, right? He's supposed to be hunting, correct?
Yes. Like I'll send you a picture of it to give you an idea what he looks like. Of Craven the Hunter. He is a Spider-Man villain. He is, he looks at Spider-Man as the greatest uh prey he can ever catch. Like that's what he is.
Right.
He's supposed to be like the greatest hunter who goes out there. He hunts animals. He does all that stuff. And
Yeah, I totally remember that. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so that's Craven the Hunter. Their new movie that they're coming out called it's Craven the Hunter. He's the main, he's the main character on there. They said that he's an animal lover and defends them.
Dude, what is wrong with
I'm
Sony, dude?
like,
I know,
I'm like,
dude.
I'm like,
Ugh.
do you not see his design? He's
Yeah, but the
wearing
fact is, I
he's
think this could
wearing
have
a lion
backlash.
pelt. He's
I th-
wearing a lion's face on his chest. And you're saying, no, that guy's an anti-hero. He loves animals.
No, for reference, Hunter, I think the studio is having problems with. I guarantee you, this is a problem. They're never going to probably confirm it, but I think this is the problem. If they would have had him being an animal killer, and way that animal cruelty is in real life, imagine the flack back that they would get from it. That's probably why they made it like that.
Oh yeah,
Even though I'm an animal lover myself and I would never do that, but in fact, if the character's built around like that to kill and harm animals, then don't put it in your movie. Don't put it there. If you know that it's going to give you backlash and the public's eye, then don't do it. Find
yeah,
something. Find another one.
yeah. Basically, what they're doing is they're trying to make him an anti-hero, so that way,
No. He's not an anti-hero. Like, Sony, you suck. You're garbage. You garbage. Hear me,
because
Sony, you garbage.
they're making another Venom movie. They should have done like in the Venom movie, Craven should have been the villain of that movie where he's hunting Venom. Like if
That
they
would be
can't,
nice.
like he would have, because he hunts what's his name? He hunts Spider-Man all the time. And actually he's the one who actually ended up killing Spider-Man in the comics and actually won on there. And so now they're trying to make it an anti-hero. So he's gonna be able to lead his own franchise. And then they're trying to make the Sinister Six movie with him in there too. They're trying to do all this stuff. I'm like, Sony, I don't think you're understanding what you're doing here.
No, but only way that I'll see that movie, Hunter, is if you pay for it. Because hell, I'm not giving Sony my money. You can give them your money because obviously you do. But I ain't. Again, if you want to see the movie, I'll go with you to go see it. But I ain't paying for it. I can tell you that. Screw
Yeah,
that shit.
because I went on a date with a girl who she was really excited to see Morbius. At that time, I was like, oh my god, I've heard bad things about Morbius, but okay, I'll go. She had a great time on there.
You had a bad time. At least
I
you
was like,
enjoyed
I
it.
just had to sit there going like, oh boy, just shut up. You're having a great time with this girl. Just
Right.
shut up. This movie's.
It's ass, but just keep it to yourself. Look again, if you want to, if they ever make this again, I
And
like
then she
Hunter.
she even told me, she says, so what do you think they're gonna do with the second movie? I'm like, I don't know. Like I know they're not gonna make a second one, but still.
No, but I do remember the Hunter guy in the old TV shows. Like, I know who he is.
Yep.
Again, I just wish that if you're gonna induce a character, so I guess this is gonna be the fourth time that they're rebooting. So it'll be a new Spider-Man. That's probably gonna be the villain, and it's gonna be like, where's Sandman? Where is Vulture? I like those two villains. They're one of my two favorite villains that Spider-Man had versed back in the TV show. I never read the comics, but I know that they have been in the show before. I have seen Vulture. I have seen I've seen
So
Sandman
so
in
Vulture's
in the
in
show.
there. He's played by Michael Keaton.
And
Uh
what? And that's coming out, right? Or just
no,
already
he's
out?
already been there. He was in
Okay.
Homecoming.
Oh, that's right. The new one now. Okay.
He was in Homecoming. Then he was in, which is Michael Keaton, so automatically pass. So he went from Batman to Birdman to Vulture. So that's
I don't care who plays. I just like the character in general. But the thing is, this. Listen to me, YouTube. I don't watch Tom Holland films. I don't like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. That's why I thought that they didn't make a Vulture yet inside the Spider-Man universe, just because of I don't watch. I don't like Tom Holland. I don't. You guys know this whole entire segment here how I discuss
did you watch
Tom
No Way Home?
Holland. No,
Oh,
Hunter. No.
that at least that one I had to say you got to see.
The one with the three Spider-Man, the back in the
Yes.
past, where you got I didn't see that one where they have them all in one sequence. I know that, I heard that, but
It's
I did not see that because of I don't like Tom Holland.
I would say at least try to get to that so you can skip to that ending.
Oh, that's a very good ending.
Because again, once you actually see Toby, I mean everybody knows now, so it's not really a spoiler now. Um, when they finally got them in there, it is actually even I smiled in theaters. Like
I wonder, Hunter. I wonder if is that a hint. I know Toby's older, but is that a hint that they possibly could bring back
they
Toby or
they did
Andrew?
it is a thing where they are
Yeah.
taught they are there is rumors going around. Even they asked Sam Raimi on all his interviews for Multiverse of Madness. They said, "So does that mean you're going to make Spider-Man 4?" He goes, "Well, it hasn't been talked about yet, but it
Ooh,
would
I
be
like
interesting.
this.
But it would
Oh,
be
dude, if he does make it with Toby, or I would go pay to see that. Like Hunter, I'm buying tickets. We're gonna go see that if that gets made in theaters. We're going. I
because
don't care. We're going.
he has said that he's going like, well, it hasn't been talked about, but if they say, sure. I mean,
Yes, that's good. But the thing is, would Toby want to come back is the question. They had to get everybody on board. The fact is, I guess if they sign Sam on, I guarantee you Toby probably fall in line. Maybe,
because Toby came back. Well, it was all secretive of
yeah,
all their stuff. Like it was very secretive, even to a point that I'm pretty sure everybody knows that Andrew Garfield lied that he was in the movie.
he did. He had to lie. Yeah, I
Like,
knew he was lying.
yeah, he was going like, listen, I'm not in the movie. I'm not in the movie. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm not in the movie. And then the movie comes out. Even when you see it on screen, everybody's going like, ah, you lie, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, look, I think Andrew Garfield wants to, whatever the downfall, I forget the drama with Andrew Garfield in the studio back in the day, but it's like, I wonder if Andrew wants to do again. Like I said, I wonder if they can make a universe where it's again, where it's Toby, Garfield, and Tom Holland, Spider Man. Imagine if they could make something like that, Hunter, like because
They
they're doing a multi universe right now,
they
so
I
it
mean they
makes
did.
sense.
It was basically they came well basically the first thing was they brought back all the villains from the old movies.
Nice.
They brought back all the villains. Um then at the very end, when well not the very end, it was the middle of the movie, like at the which is really good because they weren't just cameos in the movie, they actually became a really important part of the movie.
The studio wanted that on purpose. I think, Hunter. I think
I was
there's secretive something right there. Like I just got them saying, they had to be trying to bring back probably the old Spider-Man back in the early 2000s. This has to be there's something to that, Hunter.
yeah, it was they did that, and then the funniest thing was what was it yeah, Toby felt like he was happy to be back on there. Like was it Toby and Andrew, they were really happy to come back. um and the funny thing is they actually snuck into a theater to go watch the movie.
Really, how did they do
But
that?
basically they both because they both became friends afterwards. Andrew and Toby, they became friends. So they actually said, "Do you want to sneak in the movie?" It's like, yeah. So they actually wore baseball caps. They went to they went to a random theater, and they went to the back of the theater and they just watched all the people's reaction to the movie happening.
Imagine if we was in the Hunter. I'm not gonna like out them, but that'd be kind of nice if we would have said this. Oh shit, this Toby Hunter, this Andrew. Shh. Dude, I'll
Like,
be freaking out.
yeah, they had a great time on that one.
Nobody knew about it, right? Nobody knew about it
Yeah,
in the
no, but
theater.
well, there were rumors going around, and everybody was going. Well, I don't want to mean the theater thing, but in terms of like everybody coming back, it was rumored like, oh, wait a second, are they coming back? Because they said because Alfred Molina, who played Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, he said, he got signed on. Then Jamie Foxx came back from from Amazing Spider-Man 2. So everybody was like, okay, wait a second. Does that mean they're coming back?
Yeah,
And
I
then
kind of knew they was coming back after they
which
signed on.
which Toby didn't do any press for it. Like he wasn't doing any of that stuff. But everybody was asking
Andrew.
Andrew, like, hey, listen, are you coming back? Although I think somebody called them because they shot the movie in Atlanta. They shot in Atlanta, Georgia. Uh, so when they did that, it was people were going like, wait a second, Toby is in Georgia, and Andrew is in Georgia.
Uh-oh.
Is there something going on here?
How
And
did they hide it for so long, Hunter? How did they hide it for so long?
well, Toby didn't do any press for it. I think the only thing he really did was he went to New York just to take pictures with fans. I think that's all he did. Like it wasn't like a big thing. He wasn't like he didn't bring a full camera. He just went to the park on there and just started taking photos with people. Um, and Andrew was just keep on getting asked. He was just keep on getting asked every time on even when the movie had nothing to do with his movie with Spider-Man. They were just kind of like, so are you coming back, man? You coming back? He says, listen, I'm not in the movie. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I'm not in the movie.
Hunter, what was the movie on? Because it's out of theaters. It's been out of theaters. I would like to see it.
Disney Plus, of course. I don't subscribe to Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus. What is it called?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Okay, so again, I got to put that on because I do got Disney Plus, I believe, still. So
If you watch it, you're gonna hate the Tom Holland parts. I'm not gonna lie to you.
obviously I'll deal with it because it's my other two favorite Spider-Mans of all time.
Just
in
wait,
there.
but you'll be happy when the other villains show up. You'll be happy when the old villains show up. Then when you get to once you get past a certain emotional scene, I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I want you to experience it. That's when they show up, and it's gonna be like, oh my god,
Heck yeah.
like you'll fall in love with it.
Heck yeah, I can't wait. Hopefully, this is a trend of maybe bringing back Amazing Spider-Man or the first Spider-Man. I think it could be the first Spider-Man if they go to Sam Raimi and say, "Hey Sam, do you want to make 4?" He'd be like, "Let's do it." And I guarantee you that Tobey Maguire will sign on. Kristen Dunn will come back. J.K. I think his name is will come back.
Yeah, he's been back for the last couple. He's been back since Far From Home.
Yeah, but they'll all come back. They'll all probably sign on again.
Yep. But yeah, I think nowadays, Rain. I mean, again, he didn't say no.
No, he didn't say no, but he didn't say yes.
He's always saying, "Listen, if it hasn't been talked about, but if they say,"
I think he's lying. I think he's lying. I
like,
think it has been talked about.
Yeah. But to give you an idea, like his trend, he did Spider-Man 3, which was 2007, Drag Me to Hell, which is 2009, so that was a good 2-year difference. Then Oz the Great and Powerful, which was 2013. So was that 4 years of
Yeah, he hasn't done anything
then,
Spider-Man wise since 2007. Hunter.
I mean, like in terms of like movies, like nowadays, he hasn't directed a lot of movies. So even to that, he might be like
willing.
He might be going like, you know what? If I don't feel like doing it, I won't do it. And then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness happened in 2022, so that was almost 9 years that he didn't direct anything.
Nope.
So he might be in that trend of saying, he said he might be in a trend of saying, yeah, I'm kind of just doing movies that I feel like I want to do rather than what I have to do.
Right. But I guarantee you now he probably misses Spider-Man. Like you said, he came out and said, hey, if they again, I think they probably talked to him about it because of Sony. I guarantee they probably reached out to him about it.
They did.
Yeah.
They pull him aside and they said, hey, listen, we're actually gonna bring Toby back and we're gonna bring back Alfred Molina and William Dafoe from this. Are you gonna be he was like, how do you feel about that? He says, that's great. I love that.
Yeah, so I wonder if they'll be able to sign him on. Like, I would like to see another Spider-Man. I know they need to put the bed, but I want to see another Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Like, I want to see that fourth one. Maybe let him do the villains that he wants to do. You made all your money, Sony. You made what you want to make. Let Sam make at least a movie that he wants to make with Spider-Man. I think it would be nice and good if they did. They got all the money back. Give the man $200 to $250 million and say, go film this. We'll try to keep our hands out of you, try to stay out of your hair, blah, blah, blah. They need to let Sam do Sam, because guess what? They gotta. I'm not a fan of Venom. I never saw Venom 1. People say it's good. I don't know. It's like I do like Venom to a certain degree, but they already hype Venom up so much that the fact that they have a Venom franchise movie, they have all these other movies that they already got. They they build up with Spider-Man 3. So it's like it's not like Sam can have a movie where they could just let Sam do Sam, like let him do him, let him do one movie, one Spider-Man movie where he chooses villains that he wants to do. You just give him the cash to say to go do it and have little interference here and there. It'd be kind of nice to see a studio do that. I would love to see studio just say, we trust you. We made a lot of money doing this the past 9 years. We trust you. We brought back the characters to get you back involved because we wanted. That's what I'm saying. Like I just want them to let Sam do Sam. I want to see. I want to see again because they stopped with Sandman. I don't think that they'll be able to do probably a Sandman because it's like they already showed that, so they can't really do that again. They probably have to do something with another character, obviously another villain, and the thing that Sam probably is interested in, just because of they kind of like flopped with the Sandman and the Vulture thing, and the Vulture was in with Home, so it's like, what can you do? You can't show that again.
And this is also again like Morbius, which is a bad movie. It was supposed to be a Spider-Man villain, by the way, another Spider-Man villain. Again, spoilers to that one as well.
No, it's just so good.
Post-credit scene of that one. They're trying to rush the Sinister Six so bad that like again he shows up like Michael Keaton's Vulture shows up in the universe because it's like two different universes, which is also why you have to watch No Way Home. They did that multiverse right there, and then he goes up to Morbius randomly out of nowhere and just goes like, hey, I'm in this new universe. I think it's Spider-Man's fault. We should team up and be, for a couple of guys like us. Literally, that was the wording.
My god.
That was the wording. They said, it's like, I'm in a brand new universe. I think it's
break the fourth wall of Well. That's what you kind of did, kind of broke it.
It's like, yeah, I think it's Spider-Man's fault. I think we should team up. Like,
I think so.
And then even Morbius like intriguing. It's like, I would have been like, okay, one, who are you? Two, who's Spider-Man here? Because Spider-Man's not in this universe. Like
exactly, Sony flopped. Sony should have built that up. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but they should have said who's Spider-Man? Like he should have been like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like it should have been more of like, and then as the movie builds up to him, oh, that's what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that'd be nice.
I mean the original Morbius, movie, when you saw the trailers, Spider-Man was in that movie. Like you saw Spider-Man's picture in the background. There was references all the time. Vulture was in there. Like he was actually in the promotional stuff of like he knew Morbius and all that good stuff. Like he wasn't from a different universe. This was actually the Vulture in that universe. And then when the movie came out, they were like, oh no, Spider-Man's not in this movie at all. Like we're not going to even reference that he's a character. And then we're going to bring Vulture from another universe into this movie on there. And it's like, oh, you guys are like, it's almost like they were working with Marvel. And this is not what happened, but this just sounds like it's stupid. It was almost like they did the movie, then they realized, oh shit, we shouldn't have done that. How are we going to fix that? And then they scramble to figure out how to fix it. And they didn't fix it well.
That's Sony for you, because they'll rush and get so much content out. They're not thinking about it. Like, dude, you're destroying. Like, again, I haven't watched any Spider-Man since Garfield's when that came out. The Amazing Spider-Man 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, whatever.
2014 was last of Andrews.
Yeah, so 2014. So that's last time I seen. I did see like the Tom Holland, because I was curious to see how this little wimpy kid was gonna be Spider-Man. So I saw the very first one they introduced him, and I'm like, yeah, this is dog. And then I was like, and I stopped watching it from there. Stop following it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So it's,
Tom Holland.
I couldn't get through the whole movie, Hunter. The first one, I'm like, why?
I get it.
Why am I watching this?
But yeah,
Like, Tom,
he's because basically because Sony let Marvel use Spider-Man. They let them do it. Now the deal's over. So now they're going like, well, we don't like now they're going like, well, we don't really need you guys. We don't need Marvel anymore. We kind of like are on our own deal. Uh so now they're just doing it like
Sony owns Spider-Man, correct?
yeah, well, yeah, Sony owns the Spider-Man
But they
movie.
licensed it. But they licensed it out to Disney, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that's why Tom Holland. So wonder it's freaking Disney, bro.
So now that that deal with Marvel is done, Spider-Man is now going back to Sony. So Sony doesn't have to, you know, they don't have to pair it back up with Marvel. And since Marvel's Spider-Man is Tom, they can just simply say, we're doing that. Which leads me into the next topic, which is saying, like, yeah, they may actually get a brand new Spider-Man for this one.
I like to see Toby back
Like,
somewhere, but I think he's too old, possibly too old to do it.
he did okay during this movie, during
Yeah.
No Way Home.
Oh yeah. How old is Toby now, Hunter? He's like in his 40s.
40s, 50s.
Yeah. Yeah. He's louder. So again, he didn't do none of the stunts hardly probably in the Spider-Man in the early 2000s because they can't hurt the face. But if he brings back a Spider-Man, it won't be him in the costume, just him putting it on, and then they do something in the fight scene, then they'll cut it, and then they put in the stunt guy. Um, so again, it's possible. It's still possible. He's 47, not bad. Does he? I didn't see the thing. Does he look young, Hunter? Is he still
No,
young?
they made it clear that he's an older man.
Okay.
They made it clear that he's an older man in that one. So basically it's if you watch the movie, it's Toby is the older Spider-Man, Andrew is the middle brother, and then Tom Holland's the new guy.
Yeah, essentially that's what it is. Yeah, because Andrew's still young. Andrew's probably in his like late 20s, early 30s.
Yep. Which he's saying he's willing to come back.
Oh yeah, again, I would like to see either Toby or Tom or Tom. Andrew, I screw Tom Holland. I would like to see either Andrew come back. If they want to make another movie franchise and they want to say, hey, we know how it ended last time. I want to come back. But I think what happened is that I think the reason why Andrew didn't come back was because of I think there was like an issue that happened within the studio. I think.
So what happened? Well, I mean, for Andrew's films, it's a little bit more studio, like obviously something like they're being stupid on that one. The original idea was
Rhino was supposed to be in the third one because
like,
they ended off on that on the second one.
Well, the third one, oh my gosh, that was a whole thing. So two was going to happen, which they were trying to set up so many different stuff right away. They were trying to set up the Sinister Six again. And they were trying to build up all these subplots that were going to be done later in other movies. And Andrew was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like this is just like you're killing all the experience of being Spider-Man for me, essentially. But he took it as a champ. He said, you know what? I'm playing Spider-Man. It's okay. So then when they went into once they went into do promotion, they're saying, guess what, guys? We're gonna do Amazing Spider-Man 3, and we're gonna do Sinister 6, and then we're gonna do Venom, and then we're gonna do all this different stuff. Apparently Andrew was just sick that day and was saying, listen, I can't show up. And they took that personally, and him saying, like, listen, I just don't want to do it anymore. So they said, okay, well, if you're not going to do it anymore, we're not hiring you anymore.
Wow. So they really got offended. Said, dude, I'm sick.
Yeah. So they took it as offensive of saying, okay, well, if you're not going to do it anymore, then we're not, we're not in plus. And then Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't do good either. So
they fired him.
So they said, okay, you know what? We're not doing this anymore.
There's still a chance they bring back Amazing Spider-Man 3, or that's
also one of the rumors as well.
Okay, that they need to address the Sinister Six. They haven't done that yet. So it's
They've been
like,
trying so god
yes,
hard.
I know they are, but this they need probably that subplot and the subplots in the Amazing Spider-Man 3 to make it make sense.
Because the original idea was they were gonna do after Amazing Spider-Man 2, they were gonna do Sinister Six, and then they were gonna do Amazing Spider-Man 3. So basically it was gonna be the villains team up in the next movie, and then in the third one, it's gonna be um it would be in completely it would have been completely Spider-Man versus them. But of course, what happened off that.
Oh yeah, but I think that they could bring it back because Andrew's still young.
Oh
It's
yeah,
only
he's
been
and
8 years.
which he's like he's come back around. He said, okay, you know what? I may actually want to do it. You know,
Exactly. Yeah, and he, like I said, he's in his late 20s, early 30s, so they have time to do it, but they can't be waiting too much longer because he's gonna be like Toby here soon. So it's like he can still do it and get it done.
oh yeah, like there's again, if they come back, it would be amazing.
I just think it would be Andrew that they will get back. Toby, I don't think that they can because he's older and that ship has sailed. But I think that Andrew, like, I'll go watch it inside the thing with you, Hunter. I'll pay for the tickets that they made Amazing Spider-Man 3 because again, Toby's and Andrew's was my favorite Spider-Man of all time.
Right.
I know we're on the segment for a while, there, guys. If you guys last the song, I really appreciate you. I know we've been talking about a lot of Spider-Man because again, we're Spider-Man fanatics. I know I am. So
But yeah, so yeah, they're gonna be doing a lot of like if they come back, it's gonna be amazing. I would hope, I hope that in the future, if one of them decides like, hey, listen, I'll come back, and then that becomes their main like Spider-Man for their new universe, be pretty happy with that.
Sam, I think they will. I think Andrew Garfield. I guarantee Sony has talked to Andrew. I guarantee because they brought Andrew back and the Homecoming, correct? I mean the New Home, correct?
Yep, and No Way Home.
Yeah, and No Way Home. That was done by Disney.
How
That
was it?
that
I'm trying to
that
think.
wasn't done by
I'm
Sony.
trying to think of how that distribution went because the way that I've heard that it's done is technically it's Sony who did these movies with Tom Holland. It's just technically it's with Marvel partnership on there.
Okay,
So
so Sony still did it. So Sony was the one that put it out essentially.
yes,
Sony is the okay. So Sony had agreed to everything that was in the movie essentially, correct? That
yeah.
was the
So
deal.
basically, it was like Sony went up to Marvel and said, basically, the deal between Marvel and Marvel and Sony was, hey, listen, we want to put Spider-Man in the MCU. You currently own Spider-Man. Can you let us use Spider-Man in there? And they said, okay, we can let you do that, but we got to make the solo movies on there. And if we do the solo movies, it is with we have to say what's in the movie. And of course, it's with Marvel characters, so they're not going to say no to that.
No, but
They're not
it's
going to say
yeah.
no to Marvel characters that are in the movie. So that's why it was like that. So when you see the Tom Holland movies, like them or not, it is technically Sony doing it.
Okay, so it's technically they agreed on say, yeah, you can bring back Andrew. So again, that tells me that Andrew and Sony is probably on good terms now compared to what they was years ago.
Maybe that's a good maybe.
Yeah, because again, if they wasn't, then Andrew wouldn't have been in the film anyway. They would have said, "Nah, you're not in it." Even if it was good for a thing, they again Sony would have done so because Sony has made some bad, poor decisions in the past where they would have said, "No, we don't want you."
You want to hear something funny? That's
Yeah.
also a funny fact about Andrew.
Hmm.
So Andrew shared a room when he came to America. He shared a room. He was roommates with Robert Patterson
Nice,
and Charlie Cox.
nice,
So the technical funny thing is so Spider-Man was roommates with Batman and Daredevil.
nice, nice.
So
That's kind of funny.
yeah. And it's hilarious when it comes to that because they asked Charlie Cox, like, oh, who would you like to be, like which Spider-Man would you like to go against? He says Andrew. Like, because in the comics, Daredevil and Spider-Man are, good friends with each other.
I wonder if they could do a movie with that, a crossover. with Andrew's Spider-Man. See, there's so much possibilities and storylines that could go down. Imagine Daredevil and Spider-Man teaming up in a alternate universe with Sony, with Andrew being the lead man of Spider-Man. I think I'll be happy with that, Hunter.
I'm just really pissed about what they're doing with Daredevil the next and She-Hulk.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you
yeah.
watch the Netflix, I mean, if you watch the Netflix series, um, it's a lot darker and it's a really good series. It's really good. Season 1 is really good. Season 2 is okay. Season 3 is not the best, but it's not awful. And then this next one, when She-Hulk, he's going to be in, he's a light-hearted character now. I'm like, why, Marvel? Why did you do this?
It's Marvel, Disney.
At this point, I've lost all hope in every Marvel property because they brought in Moon Knight. Moon Knight's a dark character. He's basically Marvel's Batman. And now in the movie that he was in, like the series he was in, he's a wisecracking, crazy guy with multiple personalities who only puts on the suit for 12 minutes of the whole entire show. And the whole show is not about him being Moon Knight, it's about him having multiple personalities. And like he's funny. I'm like, oh my gosh, why did you do this?
Well, it's Marvel. I what we've been definitely going for a little longer. I think it's probably time for us to end this episode because we've been going a little longer.
Yeah, we go
Um,
full of tangents, but
we did.
it was great having you here.
It was great doing another episode. If you guys survived the song, I know we went on the tangents talking about last Spider-Man. So if you're a Spider-Man fan and you're last in the song, hopefully you enjoyed the conversation. Let us know, or let me know about how you feel about my desire and hatred towards the Tom Holland Spider-Man experience. Um, Going forward, we're going to continue talking about stuff like this, and we're going to talk about what Hunter was talking about, Moon, whatever that hell that character was, because I never heard of him. So I'm like, who? So it's like we can talk more about it if you guys want to see a part 2 to that, where we talk about more about that and how Sony and Marvel do dumb shit and screw the movies up. But anyways, if you guys haven't checked out my boy Hunter, his links will be down at the bottom of the screen. Hope you guys lasted this far and you guys enjoyed the content so far. Remember to like, subscribe, and comments. And if you guys want to know, if you guys want to see more episodes like this, please comment and let us know what you like about it. Do you like these long segments? Do you want shorter segments? You let us know down below. And anyways, I'm Aaron, and I'll see you guys later.
I'm Hunter. See you guys.